into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning, you beautiful souls. Welcome to it. It is a Thursday morning and we are ready to rock your world with some inspiration this morning. Very good morning from my side. My name is Graham Richards.
My name is Jamie Domberg. Happy Klein Vrydag to everybody. Like G said this morning, we're all about finding inspiration from other individual stories and experiences. Now, we are going to be connecting with businessman, a good friend of ours, Pepe Moray, to share tips on how businesses can overcome the tough COVID-19 economic period with purpose and intention.
Yeah, because he's done it himself, but you love him, hey? He's kind of like a spirit animal for you.
I love his son. We just connected the first time we met.
Yeah, man. One of those rare individuals who has some sage advice. And then we're going to recognize that many of the establishments affected during last month's unrest in South Africa, unprecedented scenes that we've seen here in our country, were informal traders who had put their whole lives, I think, starting into now new ventures and had all of that absolutely stripped away. So as a result, a fantastic initiative called Stock a Shop was born to raise funds to help people rebuild their small businesses and their lives in KZN's Itembe district. Be prepared to gain some wisdom this morning. I think it's going to be one of those really special shows.
Definitely, and we're also going to be connecting with you on social media, and one person who's so excited to connect with you is Mr. Carl Wasty himself. Good morning.
Focused. Goeiemorgen. I'm focused because today's question for you is going to be one of those ones that you can go back and you can give yourself some advice. It's so powerful. And that's why I'm so intensely thinking about the piece of advice I'd give myself. But before we get there, hi, my name is indeed Carl Wasty. It's nice to have you along for the ride this morning. Of course, we've got so much entertainment for you, but I would like to know from on social media, if you could go back in time, there was a little capsule, you could jump in there, you go back to yourself in whatever stage you want to, what piece of advice would you give yourself? That's the key. So I actually went back and I realized that the piece of advice I'd give myself, I'd go back to the 9th of August and tell myself the Powerball numbers for the 10th. Just an idea. It would be cool. I'm just kidding. I'd probably tell myself that no matter what, dude, I think you have to believe in yourself. You have to push on. No matter what the circumstances with your folks or your family, whatever happens, you need to believe that the only thing that you have to focus on is you right now and looking after yourself. And I think that's actually an advice that everybody can give themselves if they go back in time. But whatever yours is, I'd love to hear about it. Doesn't matter what it is. Share it on the Expresso Facebook page as I take custody of this breakfast and we go into news with Jamie Lee.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wasty. As he said, it's time to have a first look at those news headlines, starting with your national news. The Department of Trade, Industry and Competition says applications are now open for a 3.75 billion rand package for the restoration of businesses that were hit by the looting and unrest in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. Affected businesses will benefit from industrial loan support at 0% interest to be used towards the rebuilding of infrastructure, including equipment, fittings, stock and working capital. Now, this will form part of the economic recovery support interventions that was announced by Minister Ibrahim Patel. And then staying with your local news, runaway veld fires have destroyed large pastures in the Northern Cape. In the latest fire farms in the vicinity of Riverton, near Kimberley in the Northern Cape, they were hit after strong winds caused a blaze that raged over the weekend to flare up again. The initial blaze wreaked havoc at Kuruman, Daniel Scale and Lohatla. The president of Agri Northern Cape, Nicole Janssen, says farmers' grazing land has been devastated and they urgently need assistance with regard to feed for their livestock. And then looking to news further abroad, and still on the subject of fires, wildfires devastating northern Algeria have now claimed at least 65 lives, including 28 soldiers deployed to assist. The blaze are some of the worst in the country's history as temperatures reached 45 degrees Celsius yesterday. Meanwhile, a number of suspected arsonists have been arrested. Fires have also caused devastation in several Mediterranean countries, including Turkey, Greece, Lebanon and Cyprus. Now, this as the UN has issued an ominous warning that increasingly severe weather patterns that could fuel wildfires would become more common if action is not taken soon. And then China is set to ban karaoke songs that contain illegal content. Its Ministry of Culture and Tourism has announced songs that fall under this category include those that endanger national unity, sovereignty, or territorial integrity. Those who provide content to karaoke venues have been urged to review the songs and flag up to the ministry those that are potentially harmful. The rules are due to come into effect on the 1st of October. China has also more than 50,000 song and dance entertainment venues across the country. And then finally, the man from Zim who started watching TV cooking shows. We are happy to report that an old friend of the Expresso show, David Tsopo, a former Zimbabwean residing in Linden, Johannesburg, has gone from strength to strength since we last spoke to him on Zoe's birthday in Feb, and his business is thriving. David's story is one of success. He'd lost his job as a dishwasher due to COVID-19, but then started watching cooking shows after his neighbor shared his Wi-Fi password. Soon he discovered a penchant for baking. Now, with the support of others, he established his own business, aptly named Cakey by Davy. People around him banded together with regards to the supplies and opportunities he needed to make his dream a reality. These acts of kindness helped him become a full-time baker, and Cakey by Davy has flourished into a booming business. Now, with the help of friends, Davy has indeed achieved a true success, and that is the note I'm leaving you on here, your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Right now, it's time to have a first look at the sports headlines with Graham.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Let's start with rugby, international rugby. In fact, Springbok women's head coach Stanley Robenheimer has named his squad for the first of 2 test matches up against Kenya at the Donny Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch today. Lusanda Dumka will captain the team after regular captain Nolison Diso-Boy sits out with an injury. Then Western Province wing Alicia Aris and Blue Bulls women's lock Katha Jacobs will both make their debuts for the Bok women. That match between South Africa and Kenya can be streamed live on Springboks.rugby from 3 p.m. today. Then staying with rugby, defending champions, the Bulls, they're back on track. They made their way back to the top of the Currie Cup table. That was after beating the Griquas at Loftus Versfeld yesterday. The team from Pretoria scoring 8 tries to record a very impressive 56-33 win over the Griquas. Then our other Currie Cup results from last night, the Cheetahs and Lions scored a total of 12 tries to register a 44-all draw at the Toyota Stadium in Bloemfontein. That match between the Pumas and Sharks in Nelspruit was cancelled in line with COVID-19 protocols after positive cases were confirmed in the Sharks camp. The result has been noted as a 0-0 draw. Then on to international tennis. South African tennis sensation Lloyd Harris is through to the Canadian Open last 16. That was after easing past Spaniard Feliciano Lopez in the round of 32. The 24-year-old recorded a 6-2, 6-3 straight sets victory over Lopez to advance in Toronto. That means Harris will now face American Riley Opelka in the last 16, and that's later today. And on to football. UEFA Champions League winners Chelsea, well, they've got a culture of winning. It seems beat Europa League champions Villarreal on penalties to win the Super Cup in Belfast late last night. Hakim Ziyech opened the scoring for the Blues in the 27th minute before Gerard Moreno equalised in the 73rd for the Spaniards to force extra time. After it ended 1 apiece at Windsor Park, Thomas Tuchel's team, they walked away victorious, beating Villa 6-5 on penalties. So Chelsea, of course, will be back in action on Saturday as a brand new English Premier League season kicks off. We'll delve into that in our sports preview tomorrow, so stick around. But right now, let's set the tone for the day with this the crazy global weather at the moment.
Yes, the weather is a bit crazy, but I want to start you off in space. Now, interesting space news is that at a historic meeting of its council, the recently formed SCAR Observatory in the UK saw its member states approve the start of construction of the SCAR telescopes in Australia and SA. The 2 telescopes currently designated SCAR Low and SCAR Mid, names which describe the radio frequency range they each cover, will be the 2 largest and most complex networks of radio telescopes ever built. In addition to delivering exciting and revolutionary science, their construction will produce tangible societal and economic benefits for countries involved in the project. There has been significant engagement between the SCAR-O's local partners, the SA Radio Astronomy Observatory, and local communities in preparation for the start of construction. A memorandum of understanding was signed with Agri-SA, of which many members own farms in the district of Sutherland in the Karoo, and who will host antennas of the SCAR Mid. An MOU was signed with the SAN Council at SA as well. Be sure to watch Dr. Daniel Kahnemer, science engagement astronomer at the SA Astronomical Observatory, who will elaborate on this major development just after our news at 8 o'clock. Now, before we get onto some of those sunrises from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers who tune in on both the YouTube as well as the Africa channel in the US of A. And this morning we find out a little more about Albuquerque, New Mexico, located in the Rio Grande, now the 5th longest river of North America and opposite a pass between the Sandia and Manzano Mountains to the east. As a modern-day cultural and political center, Albuquerque has long played a secondary role to state capital Santa Fe, which lies some 100 kilometers to the northeast. Now, Albuquerque is New Mexico's largest city and its economic capital. However, it is served by an extensive network of railroads, airlines, and highways. Now, we love starting the day with a good sunrise, and our viewers just keep on stepping up the game. Thank you so much for sending yours through. And starting us off is regular contributor who we have chatted to previously, Nancy Govender from Pennington in KZN, who captured yet another winner of the sunrise rising over the ocean with this warm-hued photo. And then Nomapelo Pesha Kayangana from Mtata shared this hazy sunrise photo overlooking the landscape of the area. If you would like to share your sunrise with us, please do head on over to the Expresso Facebook page and also share your photo as well as your location so we can feature you in one of our weather reports as we get on to the temperatures for the day. Now, I can tell you in the south, a bit rainy, in the north, feels like summer. Let's go into it. Polokwane, let's start with you, 9 to 25. Bombela, I told you about that summer, 35 is the maximum from a minimum of 12. Pretoria, 10 to 24 today. Johannesburg, good morning to you, 8. You rise steadily to 22 degrees Celsius later. Mahikeng, your morning looks like 5 degrees Celsius. Your afternoon, 26. Klerksdorp, 4 to 25. Kimberley, 0 is where you start, but you're up to 18. Bloemfontein, a bit chilly, -1, but you're up to 20. Richards Bay, 14 to 24, with a 43% chance of rain. Pietermaritzburg, 7 to 22 for you. Durban, 12 to 22. Mthatha, you can expect 5 degrees Celsius this morning, and you rise to 17 later. East London, 9 to 17, with a 74% chance of rain if it's not raining already. Cradock, 2 to 12, with a 53% chance of precipitation. Gqeberha, definitely rain for you today, 7 to 13. George, 6 to 11, also a high chance of rain, 86%. Cape Town, 10 to 14. Worcester, you started 1, but you're up to just 10. Sutherland, very chilly, -3, and your maximum is just 4. And then, of course, Uppington wrapping up with you 4, but you're up to 17 a tad later. That's a wrap of the temperatures as well as the weather news. I'll have another update for you in 1 hour, so make sure you send those sunrise photos to us on the Expresso Facebook page.
And we've got the show officially on the road. Good morning to you, South Africa. Uncle Tabsy in the house. Now, when you see me rock up at the kitchen, you know what time it is. It's time for that dose of inspiration. Lots of it coming to you this morning. We're going to be profiling and looking at an aspiring chef who is going to be inspiring us by making these giant, delectable peanut butter cookies. Have I got your attention yet? Hopefully. Oh, yes. So stick around for that. We'll be back just now.
Every time you brew a cup of reviving Origins coffee,
you're restoring land,
empowering farmers and supporting livelihoods.
so every sip touches hundreds of lives.
And offers an inspiring taste experience in return.
Welcome back, everybody. Just in time to meet our performers for the day here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, Ashley Hilton and the Stash Band is a high-energy five-piece soul rock outfit formed in 2020. Now, he handpicked music veterans in the country to bring us the Stash Band that has a unique sound ranging from soft soul to rock, reggae, the blues, and the Afro beats. Take a quick look at their performance of their song Still, which they will be performing a little later on.
Climb a mountain just to climb 1,000 more. I'll swim the ocean just to see you at my door.
See the quality that we bring you.
Soul, eh? That's soul.
The quality
Come
that we
on.
bring you with this guy. Oh, what word? Ashley Hilton and the Stash Band. That's the. You know what I know? I actually know that what they're stashing. They're stashing talent. That's what they are. They are stashing talent today for you on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Welcome every single beautiful individual. Welcome to the couch, as well as our two high chairs that I use often. Hi.
Awesome.
It's great to have you guys. We can't wait to hear you perform. But
For having us.
let's start. We should start with you, Ashley, because it's called Ashley Hilton and the Stash Band. Unless you want me to start with the Stash first.
Just we want.
First, I'm just kidding. so apparently, you handpicked these guys. I mean, you literally assembled them. You picked them. It was like a draft, like one of those movies when they bring their whole team together. So what is the inspiration behind this, and why do you pick these talented guys?
Someone once said to me, "Don't never start a band with musicians. Start a band with friends."
True.
It's just it's much better that way. And with each of the guys, I got some kind of history. Some longer than others. I've met Wouter some years ago, and we were both in the Pretoria music scene.
Okay.
Both being bass players, we clicked, you know. And we still say, we always used to joke and say we're going to start this band with 2 bass players one day. Never happened, because I then picked up the guitar.
Oh, right.
And then, in last year when the first lockdown started, we all were at home, and being a bassist, it was hard because all the front men were making money doing online live stream shows and stuff, and I was like,
True.
you know what, screw it, I'm gonna get in there, I'm buying in. And the first person I found was Wouter, actually. I said, Wouter, let's get it together, time is now, and then we had other guys playing with us in the beginning. Some of the guys came and went. But like I say, Heinrich, the band, I always say the band officially started when Heinrich joined the band. It was in February of this year.
Yeah.
I booked a show. Wouter like to say this band's very ambitious.
Yeah.
I'm the type of guy, I don't like to settle for second best. You understand what I mean? So even the shows that we started playing from the very beginning
Yes.
of the band, I was like, we're going to play on a big stage. We're not playing smoky bars, we're playing a big stage, and that's where we're going to be at. And that's what we did. And the venue we played, Jamrock Theatre in Brackenfell, the owner phoned me and said, listen, you must come meet this guy, Heinrich Isaacs. And I was like, okay. This was the Saturday.
Yeah.
The show was booked for the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was playing with another artist. And I went and I was like, okay, fine, I'm this guy, okay. And after the show, I spoke to him. Actually, I didn't speak to him. I said to him, listen, you're playing a show on Wednesday. Not knowing me from a bar, so completely trusted it, no rehearsal. Because he couldn't make the rehearsal, we had the Sunday, was at the show, and everybody was like, who's the sax player? And I knew that was going to be it. Byron I known for a couple of years, through Stash. No, we known each other for about 15 years, I think somewhere around the end. I was in Europe, came back, and I said, I spoke to him and start this thing, and that eventually happened. So everybody's got a story. Lee is just great.
Lee is just great. How about that, eh?
He's just great.
Yes, hi, my name is Carl, and this is...
Lee is just
great.
Lee's the hottest thing, I think, in the Cape at the moment.
I can tell, he's been here before.
And it's such a privilege to get him. That show that you saw was Lee's first show, because what happened was our guitarist had gotten ill, and we needed a guitar player at the 99. Lee had 4 days to learn the set.
Wow.
And I think it was just going to be that he would stay in the band.
Love that for you guys. What a journey already, just a year in that. I can't even believe that was a year ago. You've achieved so much together as a band.
Yeah.
Can we expect new material? Is there new music being released this year? No pressure?
Yeah, we released last year, actually, we released the first single, Child of the Ghetto. Myself and Wouter is the only two from that. And now still will be our next single that will be coming out. We're very excited for Still. We've recorded it with the previous guys, and the way we're doing it now, it has evolved. Somebody said one day, play 100 songs before you record the song, because then you know whether people like it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're in that process of recording Still as it stands now.
That's beautiful.
So, yeah.
And you're now going to be performing that on national television.
Can you believe it?
Which is fantastic, because I just think that, you know, there's no make or break bigger than this particular opportunity. But we cannot wait to see everybody perform, including you, Lee, because you're just great, clearly. But of course, these guys will be performing. I was going to tell you their Twitter handle and as well as their Instagram handle, but it's too long. It's like Ashley_Hilton_the_stash_band_music, which is a bit too long. But it's fine. We'll find out the truth about that a little later. I'm just kidding. Either way, they'll be performing for you on your Feel Good Breakfast show, so stick around for that. It is going to be absolutely epic. And as mentioned, they are stashing talent. Find out soon.
All right, so let's make some magic in the kitchen this morning. Thank you very much, Gent. Now, the magical range of Nutri-Kids, it's a good choice for mums. And I'll tell you this, it truly is absolute magic for kids. And if you're someone who's looking for a fun treat for your little ones to snack on, well, aspiring young chef Naledi is back in the house, right here in the Expresso kitchen, to show you and I how to make her giant peanut butter cookies. Look at those. Oh, they're perfect. Perfect treat to go down with a big glass of your Nutri-Day milk, or rather Nutri-Kids milk. Naledi, it's so good to see you.
Hi.
Hi, so good to see you. I can't believe you've come to visit again. And I thought that the last time that we had you here in March, because we spoke about your book and we spoke about what you like to do in the kitchen, that you felt like you'd fed everybody and you'd done your work for the year. But clearly you're back to do it again, right?
Yes.
I'm very, very excited about this. I'm guessing that peanut butter is one of your favorite things to eat.
Definitely.
Okay, well, great. Let's get going with your giant peanut butter cookies. Where do we start?
First, we need to mix up the wet ingredients.
The wet ingredients. I'm guessing that these would be the wet ingredients.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you got your peanut butter in there. You've got some milk, some eggs going in there, some vanilla essence going in, as well as our Clover Nutri-Kids medium fat dairy liquid blend going in. You need 1/4 cup of that going in there. I'm so used to spending time in the kitchen that I don't use like these things anymore. I just go like, you know, like an experienced person, like a chef, like you would do. Same, girl.
Definitely.
Same. All right, cool. So I'm just going to whisk these together. What dry ingredients have you got?
This vanilla cake mix.
Oh,
sugar.
Okay.
And the chocolate chips.
Okay, easy, straightforward. I'll tell you this, Nutri-Kids has a nutritious range for kids, which includes instant medium fat milk powder, which is a hit. Instant medium fat dairy liquid blend, which is what we're using this morning, as well as 3 fun flavors of fruit nectar blend that you can choose from. And the Nutri-Kids range, it's set on providing, you know, that strong foundation, that foundation of healthy development for kids as it continues to, you know, plow in that essential nutrition, those nutrients and those minerals that they need. And it's a source of, as we know, calcium, which aids in the development of strong, healthy bones and to bring out the best in your little ones. And Naledi lives on this stuff. She loves it. Okay, let's go, Naledi. Tell me what more to do. I'm now whisking. I mean, I'm working under your guidance here.
Now we need to add this wet ingredients into the dry ingredients.
Okay, so would you need to mix these up like hectically, that they go like liquid, or would this do? Is this fine?
That's fine.
Is this fine? Okay, cool. So that's going in there. I love that this recipe is the type of baking recipe that you can get the kids involved in, right? So the mummies and the dads out there could literally have the kids help out.
Yeah.
I mean, how often do you make cookies at home?
Literally almost every weekend.
Literally almost every weekend. You see, that's why I want a daughter like you that cooks and bakes and does all of that sort of thing, because why not, you know? That's how you pay rent at home, right? Or not?
Yes, sure thing.
Perfect. So you're going to mix that up. Do you need me to help you a little bit here? This does need an uncle that goes to the gym a lot, like me, to help with this. So now we're going to be adding our choc chips in there, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Okay. While I do that, you maybe add the sugar. It's team effort when it comes to this sort of thing.
Chocolate chips.
Why? What is it about chocolate chips that you love so much?
The sugar. I am a sugar craze. I love sugar.
You and I can hang out. I promise you, we can totally hang out. So you'd obviously mix this up really nicely and make sure that it incorporates really, really nicely. I've done the bulk of the work for you, so you've got to finish off there. What we've done is we've made this really simple for you. So if you're looking for this recipe and you want all of the ingredients and the steps involved in making these giant peanut butter cookies that Naledi is taking us through this morning, go onto our website. It's www.expressoshow.com. Okay, so what then happens next, Naledi?
Well, you don't really need to use all of your dry ingredients. If it is tough, so tough that it does not stick to your fingers, then it's good.
Okay, so it needs to stick to your fingers, or does it not need to stick to your fingers?
You need to make sure that it doesn't stick to your fingers.
So, like how? Show me.
If you stick your fingers in there and it comes out clean, then it's good.
Okay, you learn something new every day. Then what happens?
Then we need to shape them.
You shape them, okay, so after they've been shaped, and the nice thing about these, let's go shape, 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 I need to see you put your back into it, Naledi, is that once they've all been shaped, and the nice thing is you can make them as giant as you want. So you can make them as big as you want. I mean, if you look at the final product that we've got over there, you're gonna see it now. I mean, with Naledi, that is huge. Those are big, right?
Yeah.
Those are really big. Okay, so then what happens after you've shaped them? What do you do next?
Now you need to put them in the oven at 200 degrees.
All right.
For 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Watch closely.
Keep checking them. Yes, watch closely. Very important. Well, listen, I'm gonna go and give one of them a try right now, and I'll tell you what I think of this. The peanut butter coming through, and when you bite into the chocolate chip.
Oh my gosh.
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Do you want to have one? And while you're doing that, tell me about your book. How's it coming along?
It is going great. We are getting many sales.
You got many sales?
Yep.
Well, you're paying for this weekend's getaway. Between you and I, you are bringing the money, you're bringing the purse, and I'll just bring myself.
Sure thing.
Sure thing. Well, listen, go onto our website. It's expressoshow.com for this recipe inspired by Clover Nutri-Kids, brought to you by Naledi. Thanks, Naledi. You rock.
Nutri-Kids is what we need to help us to get strong in here. Nutri-Kids, great for mom, way better for kids.
Made with love by Clover.
Oh, you can make my day.
A promise to the planet to be gentle and treat nature with kindness. So there's always trees to climb, to plant the seeds for a better future. Woolworths, the difference.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso on S3, and we say feel good because we love things that are good, like a good education. It's a foundation for a better future. And this month, Crystal House will open its doors to reveal 3 brand new state-of-the-art grade RR classrooms, thanks to builders and My School, My Village, My Planet.
Doing amazing work. Now, Tabisa recently visited this inspiring school to see how improved access to high-quality early education affords young learners the chance to dream of and achieve a brighter future.
Builders and My School, My Village, My Planet are collaborating to ensure that early learning is possible for yet another 60 children. This time around for a non-profit school, Crystal House in Cape Town, by building 3 new state-of-the-art classrooms for grade RRs.
Good morning. Good. Welcome to Crystal House.
Thank you very much. Miss Carol, tell us more about Crystal House and the fantastic work that you do with the community here.
The mission of Crystal House is to transform lives, and we do that through a quality education which is holistic. We offer our education to grade RRs all the way to matric. We also have a college and careers program which services our kids for another 5 years after they leave our school. Our core business is in education, but we offer so much more. Our business is to break the cycle of poverty. So we are a trauma-informed school, which means that we understand what our kids are going through. We meet them with love and care in the classrooms and ensure that this is a safe space that they come to when they come to do their schoolwork.
What does it mean for you as a school to be receiving the 3 new classrooms by builders, My School, My Village, My Planet?
I am so excited about this day. We've been waiting for it for almost 2 years. And then to have builders and My School just make our dream a reality is fantastic, because now we are able to give our children educational stimulation and prepare them for the big school. Our matrics have achieved phenomenal results over the years, and even last year when it was COVID and everyone expected a poor result, we had 100% pass rate and over 80% bachelor's pass, which gives our kids access to university.
I think the work that the people at Crystal House are doing is absolutely fantastic, giving young people an opportunity really to live out their dreams, but also to have access to quality education. Helene, so good to see you. Let's talk about this incredible partnership between builders, My School, My Village, and My Planet. What's it all about and how's it all unfolding?
When My School and builders took hands in the partnership, we really wanted it to be a win-win situation. We're now creating more opportunities for My School customers to shop and give back. Plus, at the same time, we're really impacting lives. So what's amazing is that when you shop at builders and you present your builder's card, they're going to pay R2 on your behalf to the My School program. Plus, if you've linked your card to your My School profile, the R2 will go to the cause you've selected.
What sort of impact have you seen through this partnership?
Earlier this year, we were able to open 3 new classrooms at Zulingesile Primary School in Groudville, KZN. We've been able to commit to almost 100 early learning classrooms with all the stationery and equipment they need for the year to deliver their play-based program. And today we're at Crystal House, where more classrooms are being revealed. So the partnership really is already bearing fruit.
A project like this needs people getting involved in order to be successful. How can we be a part of the story?
If you want to get involved, it really is easy to participate. Simply take your builder card and shop at builders, and R2 will be paid on your behalf. Or if you have a My School card, make sure you link that to your builder's profile so we can give back to the cause that you've selected.
Hello, kids! It is very important to support a cause like this because a lot of the children in this environment would otherwise not have this opportunity. So you really are developing the community and really feeding directly into what the future looks like for our country. It's very important. what impact has Crystal House had on you and your children?
Crystal House is not just any school, it's a school with opportunities, Tabiso. They give lots of life skills and there's lots of opportunities that will enhance the child when they leave grade 12. And Crystal House puts them on the map already. And for me, this is a school and there should be more schools like Crystal House.
The new classrooms are going to have such a major impact on the lives of these children. That's 60 learners every single year, which means that in 10 years' time, there'll have been 600 children who will have walked out of these classrooms being equipped with the best skills they can get out of this sort of environment. Supporters of My School, My Village, My Planet can now use their link cards every time they shop in-store or online at Builders, giving them even more places to shop while supporting the causes they most care about. Remember that all you have to do is go to myschool.co.za to join or download the free My School, My Village, My Planet app to get your virtual card or link your My School card to your Builders profile. It's so easy to make a difference.
That was so powerful. It was absolutely beautiful.
And
I just thought I'd let you see what Tabiso and Jamie Lee are actually waiting for first, before I actually chat to you, and that is simple. Because that was a powerful story, and as you can see in Tabiso's outfit, he actually looked like a school kid without the tie on, which is actually quite cool. But Tata Madiba actually said, and this echoes what we just saw now, is that education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world.
Completely, but in order to educate, we need to keep our girl children in a school, and this is going to change your perspective.
Yeah, this is certainly going to change your perspective when you get to understand exactly what we're dealing with, the type of stats and information that we're handling here. Jamie, let me ask you a question this morning. If you had to take a guess, a wild guess of how much you'd spend in your lifetime on sanitary products, how much would you guess?
In a lifetime?
In a lifetime.
I would say roughly like 9, 10,000, 11,000.
This is over the span of your lifetime,
yeah? It's like... It's difficult to say, but like definitely in the high tens, thousands of rands.
They're not cheap. They're
Absolutely
not cheap. Well, did you know, here's a fact here, that the average woman will spend about 15,000 rand to 39,000 rand on sanitary products in her lifetime. 15,000 to 39.
That's massive. That is actually so insane. And for a lot of people, they can't even afford that 15,000 to 39,000 rand. And again, I said, sadly, women cannot afford this cost. But again, thanks to the MENA Foundation, girls can now use one MENA menstrual cup for 5 years, which is a massive saving. I mean, just look at that. 5 years, one MENA cup.
Makes a huge difference. Well, the best part, listen to this one, is that you and we can join the MENA Cup Challenge for the month of August and help end period poverty in South Africa. And that's exactly what it's called. It is period poverty. You can now buy one MENA for 150 rand and get one free. And to top it off, with every purchase of the MENA sanitary products that you do purchase, the MENA Foundation will donate a MENA menstrual cup to a girl in need, changing their situation over there. And you can get more information of where you can buy yours and get involved with this fantastic cause on menacup.com. And this is really fantastic. It really does
and this
change
is what it
the
comes
situation.
like. So it's nicely wrapped and gifted, and then of course the 2 MENA cups. And again, I was just reading at the back of it yesterday, you know, people's referrals and saying this is indeed a game changer. So go out there, again, get onto the website and find out how you can contribute to this amazing foundation.
That's menacup.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. We promised you inspiration this morning, and it is coming in spades. The Britton family has seen, to say the least, many ups and downs over the years. Mom Danielle Britton and son Lawrence both survived cancer, and then Lawrence defied the odds to go on to win a silver medal for rowing at the Rio Olympic Games back in 2016. It's safe to say that this is a family filled with warriors. Well, Danielle then decided to put pen to paper and share their incredible story in her book titled Warriors, an epic battle for Olympic rowing victory. And she joins us along with her son Lawrence to chat about, yes, the Tokyo Olympic Games, but also what sounds like an incredible book. Guys, a very good morning. Great to be seeing you again. Lawrence, loving the beard, dude.
No, thanks for having me on the show. And
Thank you.
I knew I was coming back to the winter, so I had to keep the beard strong.
Look, I heard the temperatures soared that side of the world. I know possibly not the best outing in terms of that final result, but a fantastic showing nonetheless. And we're really proud that you made it to another Olympics. Congratulations for becoming an Olympian yet again. What was your experience like in Tokyo?
Yeah, it's a mixed bag because we really fell short of our expectations and what we really believed we could achieve. So it was a little tough, and I still need some time to deal with that. But I mean, in general, the Olympic Games is always something special and always something to be proud of. And yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. We just really upset with the result.
Buddy, I think that's why you have the 4 years. It's not just to revel in victory, but it's to stew in defeat. But it's what builds the mental resilience. And that, I think, is a firm focus in the book. But Danielle, I'm going to move to you now. And I've got to ask you this, because this whole time I've been thinking about the very special relationship that I share with my mother. And you obviously managed to stay very close to Lawrence. You were the team doctor in Tokyo. What was that experience like for you?
Look, I've been the team doctor for that team for 10 years. So I know all the guys very well and the team very well. Obviously, it's fantastic being there with Lawrence, and was the same at Rio as well, to have that special insight into the games and to actually have the privilege of working at the games. So that gave me, and being the rowing doctor gave me a way in to be the team doctor in South Africa. And so that was an incredible experience and a privilege to be there and see some of the caliber of athletes that one sees at the Olympic Games, which makes them so special. So, yeah, I think our relationship is really good, and I've enjoyed having that closeness at the Games, and especially now in Tokyo where things didn't go that well. I felt I was able to be there a little bit in those moments of despair.
Because I don't think people understand. I'm lucky enough to obviously get to talk to some amazing athletes, and I don't think people understand the margins and how much gets invested in this journey. It really is a lifelong journey for most that have made it to that point. And as a mother of 2 sons competing in rowing at the very highest level, and you and Lawrence having both obviously, as I mentioned in the opening, beat cancer. You are cancer survivors. You have an incredible story and a journey to tell, and you've decided to do that through your book, Warriors, an epic battle for Olympic rowing victory. Tell us a bit more about the book and what prompted you to take that step and say, okay, I need to share the story in a more concrete way.
Well, at Rio, actually, somebody told me that the boys were the only brothers in South Africa at that stage to have won medals.
Wow.
And also Lawrence had just survived the Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I thought that, that was in itself a story. And in a way, it started with that. But then it just grew so much more into, obviously, the Rio story and Lawrence's story, but then Matthew's story with the lightweight 4 and all they went through to deliver that performance. And more as I've been involved in this process, one realizes just how outstanding that performance was. And then, of course, it couldn't just stop there. at that, because it involved the family. And David's journey to try to get into the Atlanta Olympic Games, and how that was for him, and how that influenced the boys when they were very small. So all of these things just added up, making it into more of just that story. There were just so many other stories in it, and so I kept going, and ended up with what you see there. Which has been great to write, and really, really, a privilege to have been part of that whole family that managed to do what they've done.
You keep using the word privilege, and I think it's wonderful to hear that. But it's there is so much going into achieving these goals that few of us can scarcely even dream of. And Lawrence, I've got to turn this to you, because your story is obviously nothing short of inspiring. What was the process like being a part of the book? How much were you allowed? Did your mom come and say, "Listen, I'm writing a story about you"? What were your thoughts on this whole project?
Yeah, my mom definitely came to me and said she wanted to write the book, and from day one I've always been a big believer, a big fan of the book. It's quite special, when you're going through something really tough, like when I was going through the Hodgkin's treatment. You always look for other people to kind of help you, bring you along, give you that inspiration. And I just thought, if my mom can write a book and one person can read it and kind of face something difficult, then it's worth writing, it's worth getting the story out. And then as she was writing it, I read one of the first drafts, and oh man, it was really something special, to go through the family's journey. And there's as my mom said, there's so much more than, it's not just a rowing story, it's a story about, a family becoming, chasing their dreams and going after something special. So, even reading the book the first time, it was, there's things in there that, from when I was really little that I didn't even realize. And, there was just, I think the whole book was just really special. So yeah, from day one, I've been the #1 supporter, and all my brothers have been part of it. And my mom has put so much effort into getting those stories out and getting them right and true. And I think that's been really, really special to see it happen and be part of.
I feel like crying right now, mainly because I don't have an hour and a half to talk to you guys, because this has piqued my interest on so many levels. I think from a sports fan perspective, this is going to give them a glimpse into greatness, which is wonderful. But I think in terms of, as you said, maybe just that one person who needs help at a critical moment in their life, this could be that defining moment. So thank you so much. As a family, thank you for just being amazing and giving us so many moments of sheer wonder and celebration. We really appreciate you, and thank you for putting that all in book form.
Well, I hope everybody gets to enjoy reading something of that journey.
Massive thank you to Danielle and Lawrence Britton for joining us via video call this morning. Really goosebump stuff. Make sure you get your copy of what sounds like the most amazing journey in Warriors, an epic battle for Olympic rowing victory. Do it today.
Thank you, G, so much for that great conversation. Now, sticking with the theme of the day, inspiring you. Hopefully, we are inspiring you to get out of your bed on this Thursday and get ready for a workout. Now, it's focusing all about the upper body this morning. And when it comes to rowing, there are a few motions and exercises that really complement your rowing stroke to help you, your boat power across the finishing line. Now, having a strong upper body will help you achieve this by regularly working out the muscles in your arms, the shoulders, the back, and the chest. It is vital to keeping your body strong and healthy. And this morning, personal trainer and business owner Jihan Abrams is back in the studio to show us a workout that will help you build upper body strength and muscle. And it's always so good to have you, because I know you're going to make us work and you're going to make us sweat.
Why, thank you for having me. Are you ready to do this?
Am I ready?
So basically,
ready or not? Here we go.
What we're going to do is we're going to do our biceps, our triceps, and our shoulders. Excellent for rowing. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
She's got the heavy ones as per normal.
I thought so. So let me grab my weights, and I think these are 1 kg. But if you don't have anything, grab a can of beans, maybe a water bottles, and you're good to go.
Broomsticks as well.
I like that broomstick.
All these different things you can use. So basically what you want to do when you're working your biceps is you want to take your elbows, squeeze it on the side of your hips, and you want to contract the muscle as you're taking them up and then dropping them down. Try not to lock, so always keep them loose and supple. And we're going 3 rounds, 10s. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Counting it out, and don't forget to breathe as well, because sometimes if you forget to breathe, you're just like, let me get through this rep. But if you breathe it out, it will make it a bit
Also
easier.
try not to lock your knees, and when you're lifting the weight, sometimes the weights are too heavy, so people tend to bounce their bodies. You need to keep everything stable, keep the knees loose, so don't lock them and push the bum out. Just be stable in the way you're standing.
And this is a great workout as well for those arms, because I'm just thinking summer's around the corner. We don't want flabby arms. We don't want it waving back at us.
Winter bodies are made in summer.
Indeed.
Are you ready to go to your shoulders?
I'm ready to.
So we're taking it straight up. What you want to do is just you want to lift your shoulders up, arms facing forward, palms facing up. You want to squeeze all the way up and pull down behind your ear and just hold it there. So you're going up, you're going 1, pull down, lift up, 2, and down. Keep going, 3, down. 4, how are you feeling?
This 1 kg is actually burning. I was like, I can do 1 kg. Yesterday, Raul put me through my paces and had me use a 12 kg kettlebell. And I was like, 1 kg, I could do it. Now I'm feeling the burn.
And we're going 2 more. Squeezing the abs, squeezing the glutes. 1 more, lift up. And you take them back down to the side and bicep curls. We're going to alternate the arms now, so you're going to constantly be moving. So you're squeezing, alternate.
Yeah.
Leg shoulder width apart, abs in, squeeze the glutes, and keep going.
And also just realize, when you look at your muscles, it also helps, okay? So if anyone ever told you that it doesn't, looking at yourself and just feeling yourself, it works. You know, and you have to have a face. You have to have that face like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Squeeze.
Squeeze it,
Picture
squeeze
the
it.
growth.
There we go. Johannes,
One
us through our
more,
paces
and we're taking it back up and go. And squeeze, pull down behind the ears, abs is engaged, and squeezing down and taking it back up. Now remember, if you don't have weight, water bottles, baked beans, tuna.
Yeah.
Nice
Tuna.
form.
Great for recovery afterwards as well.
Are you ready to do your back?
I'm ready to do my back.
2 more, 1 and 2. So you want to open your legs, you want to sit down into a squat, place your hands in front of you, you're going to squeeze all the way back and looking up.
What am I squeezing?
So you're squeezing your back muscles, squeezing them here, so you go straight up and release.
Okay, so I'll maybe do a side view.
Here we go, and squeeze up and down. Remember, chin up, eyes up, and feel the squeeze in the back.
Still gotta focus on all of that as well while we do the back. There we go, and 3, 2, 1.
I didn't say time up. You still have 2 more to go. Let's go.
While we complete this round, Johan Abrams is taking us through our faces for this Thursday workout, focusing on that upper body. Let us know what you thought about that. More magic coming your way here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Woo! And back up.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's for Men, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour moisture and no stickiness. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
Welcome back. We're going to continue to inspire you. Yes, we're all about the Olympics at the moment. Maybe not the most incredible 2020 Olympics showing from Team South Africa, but some amazing moments have emerged, as they always do from the Olympic showpiece. Yeah, man. These moments of the triumph of the human spirit. Some in the field of competition, some definitely way outside the field of competition. So we thought, now that the official Olympics is done and dusted, we'd take a look, just a moment, to appreciate some of those inspirational instances that we were lucky enough to be a part of.
Yeah, and I must say, we've had many of those moments that had us sort of sit back and go, wow, that is quite something. And every year there is a standout. But how's this one? British Olympian Tom Daley, who caught the attention of many fans with his Tokyo Games-inspired cardigan. I mean, it was so beautiful. I liked it as a style.
It's your vibe, actually.
Yeah, he's my vibe, you know.
I'm sure Richard Nice is looking at that going, yeah,
I should have done that. But this guy, Tom, he won a gold medal in the men's synchronized 10-meter platform. But he also took on knitting. And, of course, he made this during the lockdown. Last week, Daley knitted a pouch to keep his gold medal. How's that? I mean, that is fantastic. He wanted to keep it safe and stop it from getting damaged. So let's take a look at this. I think it's so cool.
I don't normally post things that are not necessarily knitting related on my Made with Love page, but myself and Matty, my synchro partner, won the Olympics yesterday, and I thought I'd come on and just say the one thing that has kept me sane throughout this whole process is my
I mean, it's just so cool. It's just so he does seem like the coolest guy. He is very outspoken in many spaces that need a voice like his. And the knitting is just another way that he's being very cool. But you can go and follow him online and see the knitting creations that he gets up to. But my best as well, everyone else is focused on the pool. He's sitting there.
And he says it's a form of meditation, helps him breathe.
It's quite therapeutic. I imagine. I've seen when the aunties
deal with the pressure, man. Deal with the pressure.
So, I mean, you saw that massive gold medal that he had there. Everybody, when you win a gold medal, you keep it to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe you just share it. And I think this is the Olympic spirit coming out. Now, there were actually two athletes. One of them, Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi, as well as Murtaz Barshim of Qatar. And they are friends since 2017. And Barshim and Tamberi actually agreed to share a gold medal for the final men's high jump. I haven't seen something like this since that reality TV show had joint winners. Now, both jumpers were actually perfect until there was something raised, of course, and that's the bar was completely raised. There's an Olympic record height of 2.39 meters after both attempting 3 times. Now, Barshim suggested 2 gold medals, and Tamberi instantly accepted, and this is the first time a gold medal has been shared. That's the 2020 Olympics for you.
I've never heard of anything like it. I love it, though. I love that spirit.
It's very cool, man. I mean, and they went far, 2.39 meters, an Olympic record height. I just love that. Absolutely cool. Then, of course, what do we do when we fall?
We get up.
Yep. We get back up again. Yeah, man. I'm quoting my son who's been watching Spider-Man every day. But that's what you do. You get back up. And the same can be said for Sifan Hassan, who was powering through her last lap in the women's 1,500-meter semi-final when a runner just in front of her tripped and then created a bit of a domino effect. And then Hassan, she clearly thought she could clear it, tried to jump, then fell and ended up on the floor as well. It was a bit of a mess, but she immediately got up and continued running, then proceeding to pass, get this, 11 runners in front of her to come in first place. Ain't nobody was going to take that medal away from her. Take a look.
Wow.
Se está colocando al filo, pero sí en la 10ª posición. Increíble, vamos a ver si se repone porque la vendimos a todo el continente a través de marca Claro y Claro Sports y ahí vemos cómo el orgullo está intacto y comienza la remontada.
I wish we could translate whatever. But look at that. She must have been in pain. She must have been exhausted. You can see the athletes in front are pushing at absolute maximum, and she's just, that's all self-belief. That is
you're not even using the muscles
what you need in this space. I imagine that when this sort of thing is happening, you even forget about Paige. She probably wasn't feeling it until the end of it.
Flying. You don't understand.
Power.
You don't understand.
It's honestly, it's been an Olympics that has given us so many moments, and I think that the Olympic itself as a tournament is not only just to showcase the most incredible athletes on the planet, it's to show us the power of the human spirit. And that's what we saw all the way through.
Completely, man. Love that. Right down to some Simone Biles not competing, choosing not to compete to highlight mental awareness and mental health. So proud of her for doing that and the reaction of the world. I mean, you can let us know. Maybe there were some moments in the Olympics. Maybe there's some moments coming up in the Paralympics that are going to blow us away. Share with us on our social media pages. We'd love to hear from you. But of course, last but not least, we'd like to congratulate our medal winners who certainly did us proud. Woman, flying that flag.
Tatiana, go.
Tatiana Schoenmaker, absolutely amazing. We had an opportunity to chat to her. So, I think, humble about it all, but she achieved, obviously, a gold and a silver and an Olympic record in the mix. And, of course, surfer Bianca Buitendag, who we've watched go from a 17-year-old just knocking on the door to becoming a silver medalist at the Olympic Games as well. Can't believe she's now retiring. It makes me feel so old. But just so impressed with both of their performances after what must have been such a challenging build-up to this Olympics with this COVID year that we've experienced. So, yeah, feeling very proud right now.
Well, it's 2 minutes after 7 o'clock. Time to have another look at those news headlines. Starting with your national news, Gauteng Premier David Makhura says his government has now shifted its COVID-19 inoculation program to farmers and their workers. Makhura yesterday launched the program at Devon Abattoir outside Springs, and by midday, some 100 workers had been inoculated. The Premier said they were targeting at least 200 farm workers per day. He said Gauteng is an urban-dominated province, but farm workers deserve to be vaccinated like other people in parts of the province. The Department of Trade, Industry and Competition says applications are open for a 3.75 billion rand package for the restoration of businesses that were hit by the looting and unrest in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. Affected businesses will benefit from industrial loan support at 0% interest to be used towards the rebuilding of infrastructure, including equipment, fittings, stock and working capital. This forms part of the economic recovery support interventions that were announced by Minister Ibrahim Patel. And then looking to news further abroad, Canadians wishing to eat at a restaurant or go to a bar or gym or attend a festival in Quebec will have to present a vaccine passport as from the 1st of September. The province will be the first in Canada to require such passes, which are increasingly being used across the world to limit entry to public places to those who have been vaccinated or recovered from COVID-19 or tested negative. Now, last week, New York became the first American city to announce the introduction of vaccine passes for access to public places. And then staying with the international news as well, wildfires devastating northern Algeria have now claimed at least 65 lives, including 28 soldiers deployed to assist. The blazes are some of the worst in the country's history as temperatures reached 45 degrees Celsius yesterday. Meanwhile, a number of suspected arsonists have been arrested. Fires have also caused devastation in several Mediterranean countries, including Turkey, Greece, Lebanon and Cyprus. This as the UN has issued an ominous warning that increasingly severe weather patterns that could fuel wildfires would become more common if action is not taken soon. And then finally, a Durban school pays tribute to women and healthcare workers. A touching gesture by learners of Northwood High School in Durban brought tears to many eyes recently when they paid tribute to healthcare workers and support staff at the Moses Mabhida Stadium vaccination site in the KZN Harbour City. The Northwood Band also serenaded staff at the vaccination site and handed out chocolates with a special note of thanks and a ribbon to the frontline workers. Members of the Representative Council of Learners, the RCL, handed out chocolates to women waiting for their vaccines. RCL President Nzuzo Mchunu said SA had of late seen much tragedy and added, I quote, "We wish to show our solidarity with women and also pay tribute to the frontline healthcare workers who are working tirelessly to keep us safe." Northwood's principal Paul Fulyoun said he felt the learners present at the vaccination site were the true embodiment of the values of the school. On that beautiful note, that's where I leave you 7 o'clock news headlines. I'll be back on the hour. Here is G with a second look at the sports.
Thanks so much, Jamie. As we swell with pride, let's continue with a little national pride right now. Springbok women's head coach Stanley Robenheimer named his squad for the first of 2 test matches against Kenya at the Dani Craven Stadium in Stellenbosch today. So Lusanda Dumka will captain the team. That's after regular captain Nolison Boy will be sitting out because of an injury. Then Western Province wing Alicia Aries and Blue Bulls woman Lark Cather Jacobs. They will both make their debuts for the Bok women. The match between South Africa and Kenya can be streamed live on Springboks.rugby, and that's from 3 p.m. today. Then staying with franchise rugby here in the country, defending champions the Bulls, they're back on track. They made their way back to the top of the Currie Cup table. That was after beating a very spirited Griquas at Loftus Versfeld yesterday. The team from Pretoria, they were on fire, scoring 8 tries to record a 56-33 win over the Griquas. Then in our other Currie Cup results from last night, there couldn't be a difference between them. The Cheetahs and the Lions scored a total of 12 tries to register a 44-all draw at the Toyota Stadium in Bloemfontein. Then the match between the Pumas and the Sharks, unfortunately due to take place in Nelspruit, was cancelled in line with COVID-19 protocols. That was after positive cases were confirmed in the Sharks camp. That result has been noted as a 0-0 draw. Then on to tennis. South African tennis sensation Lloyd Harris is through to the Canadian Open last 16. That was after easing past Spaniard Feliciano Lopez in the round of 32. The 24-year-old recording a 6-2, 6-3 straight sets victory over Lopez to advance in Toronto. Now Harris will face American Riley Opelka in the last 16, and that's later today. Then, of course, lots to get excited about on the footballing front. UEFA Champions League winners Chelsea, they've done it again. They beat Europa League champions Villarreal on penalties to win the Super Cup in Belfast late last night. Hakim Ziyech, he opened the scoring for the Blues in the 27th minute before Gerard Moreno. He equalised in the 73rd for the Spaniards to force the extra time. So after it ended 1 apiece at Windsor Park, Thomas Tuchel's team, they walked away victorious, beating Villa on 6-5 on penalties at the end of the evening. So Chelsea will be back in action on Saturday as the brand new English Premier League season kicks off. We'll delve a little deeper into all of those permutations tomorrow in our weekend sports preview. But right now, I hate to say it, it seems that winter is coming yet again. Let's get the weather.
Oh, Graham, this winter is relentless, and the South African Weather Service has warned of 2 winter systems that will affect the country this week and into the weekend. An extensive cold front made landfall in the Western Cape earlier today, bringing rain and extreme cold with snow, and that snow can be seen on high-lying areas. This will spread to the Eastern Cape this afternoon and KwaZulu-Natal tonight, and high winds and snow are expected along sections of the N3 from the Van Rhenens Pass to Warden, and motorists are advised to avoid driving at night when temperatures drop and visibility is poor, so please be safe out there. The N3 toll concessions have advised people with medical conditions or traveling with babies to ensure that they have sufficient supplies and medication in case of lengthy road closures. A second system is expected tomorrow over the western interior of South Africa, causing wintry conditions over the southern parts of SA. It will also dump rain over the central interior, a relatively uncommon occurrence this time of the year. More settled, warmer weather is expected only next week, so please keep warm. Now, while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we also do have some international viewers who tune in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the USA. And this morning, we find out a little more about Heber City in Utah. The city was largely pastoral, focusing largely on dairy farms and cattle ranching, and has since become a commuter town, which is populated, largely quite populated as by primarily residential property rather than commercial or industrial. People who live in commuter towns usually work in other locations, and now this region experiences large seasonal temperature differences with warm to hot summers and cold winters reaching as low as -12. Imagine that. Well, we're definitely so fortunate to experience such breathtaking sunrises here in South Africa, not cold winters like what they experience over there, and we just love seeing the photos that you capture. Ntokozo Theo Makatini from Joburg shared a view of the blue sky in his area, scattered with a few clouds as the day begins. Thank you very much for that. Heading to the coast, Razine Pendi from Gqeberha captured this gorgeous sunrise as the sun just peeks over the horizon, casting a beautiful orange-filled sky over the area. We love it. Thank you for that. Please do continue to share your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We love seeing how you start your day. We really, really do. And now we take a look at those temperatures across the country. Sunny times out in Polokwane. 9 is your low today, reaching a high of 25. If you're out in Mbombela, brace yourself for some times of sun and clouds today as you start at 12, peaking at 35 degrees. Pretoria, the capital city, 10, that's your low, reaching a high of 24, with Jozi Maboneng at 8 and 22. Mahikeng, 5, that's your low, reaching highs of 26, with Klerksdorp coming in at 4 and reaching a maximum of 25. Kimberley, 0 and 18, with Bloemfontein starting off at -1 and reaching a high of 20. 43% chance of rain out in Richards Bay, 14, that's your low, reaching a high of 24, with Pietermaritzburg coming in at 7 and 22. Durban, the warmest place to be, 12, that's your low today, reaching a high of 22, with 40% chance of rain out for Mthatha, 5 and 17. Brace yourself for lots of rain out in East London today, 9 and 17, with some sun and rain out in Craddock, 2, that's your low today, reaching a high of 12. Gqeberha, oh, it's going to rain there today. It's really going to rain, 7, that's your low, reaching a high of 13, with George at 6 and 11. Also lots of rain expected over there. The mother city, Cape Town, 10 and 14, with Worcester coming in at 1 and 10. If you're out in Sutherland, you'll start off at -3, that's your low, reaching highs of 4 only. Cold day out there, with Uppington starting off at 4 and peaking at 17 degrees. There you have it, South Africa. It's going to be cold in most parts of the country, so please do keep warm. But if you are able to catch that sunrise this morning still, please do send it to us. Expresso Morning Show, SABC 3.
So whether it be warm weather or maybe even a cold front, one thing is for sure, these guys, they're going to bring the heat on our Expresso stage. Now, multi-instrumentalist and songwriter Ashley Hilton and the Stash Band are standing by to perform an incredible track, and I call it simply Bad Man. Enjoy.
Said, son, be a big, big man. My daddy said, go and do the best you can. My grandmama said, put your life in a Jesus' hands. And little did they know that I'm a bad man. The scriptures, I heard the lies, I heard the teachings, the wicked lies. I say, oh my Lord, I'm doing better somehow. And little did they know that I'm a bad man now. Start from where to start. I said, oh my Lord, I'm doing better somehow. And little did they know that I'm a bad man now. best you can. My grandmama said, hey Carl, put your life in a Jesus' hand. And little did they know that I'm a bad, bad man now.
Yes, please. We have Ashley Hilton, the Stash Band, for 2 more performances. Stand by for that. And we also have entertainment stash for you on your Feel Good Breakfast show, including something special from Pepe Mare just after this.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. This is Expresso on S3, and let me introduce you to somebody phenomenal. Now, we're talking about somebody with clients like Clover, Nedbank, and people opposing women abuse on their books. South African advertising firm Joe Public United is an industry-leading business that is majority black-owned.
Oh, they do fantastic work. Its founding partner and Group Chief Creative Officer, Pepe Mare, believes that businesses can only be successful if they are led by purpose. It's an important mantra for him and are treated as beings in their own right. Now, Pepe joins us now via a video call. We're very excited to chat to him this morning to share some tips on how businesses of all sizes can overcome the tough COVID-19 economic period with purpose. I love it. Mr. Mare, good morning. Thank you so much for making the time.
Thanks, Tabisa. Morning, Carl. How's it?
So good. And also such a pertinent topic, because I think, when you talk about purpose, it's always in motivational speeches. However, when you apply it to business, I think this could elevate anybody's cause. So let's start off with, why do you believe that businesses need a higher purpose to drive their strategies?
Yeah, there's been talk about business purpose for 11, 12 years now. I'm actually studying it. There's so much talk, and there's a lot of businesses that's actually purpose-led.
Yeah.
But it's still a very small, minuscule amount. And I think, we all know that there's this world where there's a minority that's really thriving, and then the majority are left just to survive and barely survive. So it's that conundrum between the strive to make money and the objective to actually serve more than just your shareholders.
And it's a big conversation, one that needs the spotlight, especially today where people really do connect to things that speak to them and things or that share same purpose. But what influence has the year 2020 and I suppose the continuing lockdowns as we're seeing in 2021 had on purpose in business? Has it shifted anything in that space at all?
No, I haven't really seen that shift, but I think there is going to be a shift. You know, there's a lot of consciousness happening around a lot of issues in the world brought about by COVID-19. And I think, you know, what's maybe happening is there's a lot of talk of purpose and there's not a lot of walking of purpose. And I think that's what's starting to happen. I can speak for ourselves. You know, we've been talking purpose for a decade and maybe not living it as much as we should be. And in the last 18 months, we definitely have had an internal shift to become really actively living our purpose daily. So I think there's intention and then there's action. So there's been a lot of intent and hopefully there's a shift more towards action.
I think what COVID-19 has done is it's stripped down humanity. And I think while we were chasing the big buck, I think we forgot about actually human interaction and what we can do through business to actually elevate. And one business that is at the forefront is, of course, Joe Public United, a highly respected advertising firm. And I'd like to ask you, Pepe, like, how have you personally driven purpose in your business methodology?
Yeah. So it depends on your belief of what exactly purpose is. Of course, it's a statement. There's been a lot of confusion between mission statement and your vision. Business schools teach that business starts with vision, you know, and I've learned over the past 14 years, the foundation of everything, personal life or business life, is purpose. You know, that's the starting point. So I suppose it started with defining Joe Public United's purpose in 2010. Which started with one word, growth, and then unpacking the meaning. So our purpose is to be the fertile soil that grows our people, our clients, and our country. And once we had that as a strategy, we started implementing it into the fabric of the business, which is quite a task with a growing concern. So to keep it on point means advocating it loudly and broadly daily. And living up to it and delivering to it. And that's why I'm saying COVID is actually allowing us to take a step up. And I really believe this notion of being focused on purpose beyond product and profit is what's kept us in good stead in this very tough time.
The chat on purpose and how that can grow businesses, but can also grow people and grow the values of every business so that they're anchored by purpose. Well, Mr. Pepe Murray is going absolutely nowhere. We're going to have another chat with him, continuing this focus on purpose. And if you want to learn more tips on how purpose can be the difference between business failure and success, then be sure to keep it locked to your Feel Good Breakfast show, as Pepe will be back in just a moment to tell us more about it.
Michaela is back in the kitchen, and this time she means business with a blissful creation just for you.
Made with love by Clover.
Listen, a savory bagel, it's great, it's such a treat, but have you ever tried a sweet version? Well, these Clover Bliss dessert bagels are filled with chocolate and all the double indulgence one can ask for. What a bliss, Michaela, you're a bliss, you're a sweetheart. That thing is deadly because it's like, eat me now.
But you and I are not eating it now. Because we're fasting still.
We're fasting, and we're definitely going to get Uncle Tabsy to try it, because he will eat anything for breakfast. But let me tell you this, 2 weeks ago, right, I was in Muizenberg, I was going for like a little walk with the friends of mine, and we decided we're going to have bagels for breakfast, and then we tried savory bagels. I was so disappointed because it just had like salmon and cream cheese and all of that. It was great, but I needed something chocolatey. I needed something that was going to ooze yumminess, and I think like this is going to do the trick. So hopefully this will last until Sunday, or I can just get the recipe from you, and then Bob's my uncle.
And you could literally fill these with anything. Bagels are quite a neutral, like, bread. They don't have much like unique flavor. It's just.
Why do you sound disappointed? They're like unique, like.
They are chewy.
Can we make it more excited? Bagels. A bit more, you know. Get into that bagels.
So we actually don't have much to do today. So Today, you are going to mix some of our Clover Chocolate Bliss into those chocolate chips that we have over there, and I'm going to attempt to scrape out some of these slightly stale bagel innards.
So that's all I'm doing. I'm mixing the Clover Bliss. Yumminess. Ready to eat. I mean, you can put this over ice cream, pancakes, flapjacks, everything, whatever you want.
Are you having like a dessert moment in life right now?
I'm having a dessert moment. It's not even Sunday. Sunday's my cheat day, but usually, like, right now, I'm just like, I want this now. So I'm going to put all of this in.
I'm trying to think what you could use as, like, a healthy alternative for this.
No.
No, you can't.
This is healthy. Look at it. Source of vitamins A, B2, and D. It ticks all the healthy boxes.
Okay.
You know?
Let's not read, like, the rest of the ingredients.
There we go. So we're going to just mix all of this chocolate together.
And we've already preheated our oven to 180 degrees Celsius because you'd want to put these into the oven and allow those chocolate chips to just melt down.
And you were just telling me something interesting about how you make bagels. You actually have to boil it?
So you'd make it like you would a normal dough, and then you allow them to prove in their round form. And then you drop them into a boiling pot of water on the stove with some bicarb. And then that allows it to form the skin, which is that chewy bit that you love eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you bake them in the oven.
Too much work for me. I'm just going to do this one. I'm just going to do this one. I'm just going to fill it all up. So I've done my little mixture. I could just go in with a spoon now. And then
you can use this spoon and start topping it on there.
Got it.
The reason why you want to make a slight well in the bagel is so that the chocolate doesn't ooze like completely off, that there's actually some inside.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, we just want to fill it, have a nice little pocket for all of the yumminess that we're going to put inside there. Look at this.
And then this could also be like something you keep in your back pocket. You know, like you can take bagels, freeze them. That's the best part about them. Freeze them. Take them out, defrost them, and then just prep this before you have like guests over. Or
okay.
like
so don't do that, then I'll take that and freeze it because that I'm not going to.
Cool.
I'm joking. Okay, let me do the other one as well.
But with you and your kid, like this would be
great. This is my Sunday snack, my Sunday treat after a hike. Fuel the body.
Well, at least you do exercise to burn it.
I have to. You know, I really have to balance it out because I eat so much. I have a sweet tooth.
Do you?
I do. Like anything chocolatey, anything. Oh.
What's your fave?
Anything.
Anything?
Anything chocolate, anything sweet.
You sound just like Tabiso.
House food, high school, everything, girl. Just feed me. Feed me all the time. Okay, so we have marshmallows. And here's the thing, Michaela. Whenever I see that, I feel like it's going to the next level because that is usually when you use the creme, for creme brulee,
yes.
Right? You use the burner torch. How does this come in with this? Because then it's going to be like a s'more. More bagel.
Ideally, you'd want to put this in the oven and then just allow the chocolate to melt. And then you whip out, if you have one, your nifty, I like to call it a flamethrower, but I know it's not. What is the correct term for it?
Blowtorch.
Blowtorch. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just switch it on until you hear a noise.
Now we mean business.
So when we were doing this before we were actually like airing, me and the kitchen fairies like basically lit everything alight. So let's hope that like nothing gets
My
set
eyelashes
alight.
are highly flammable. I'm going to step back. Luckily I don't have hair if anything burns.
Oh yes.
Oh, it's what?
Oh no, it's on fire. Oh no, it's fine. We're good. Oh no, it's on fire.
Do we have a fire?
I don't want to blow on it because COVID. Okay, that's enough.
Leave it,
that's
sufficient. Like that?
Yeah,
let's just leave it like that.
Well.
And then we can use decorations. We have some stars.
And some nuts.
And some nuts. Do you think we should be nice? And do you think we should invite Tabisa in to try this? Because I know the brother's watching us and he's like, the girls can't eat it, but I can eat it. Tabsi?
Say less. Say no more.
Say no more. Get into that.
I was watching these from the corner the whole time. You don't have to say anything.
I know. We didn't even need to invite you. You'd have taken it regardless. At least we just invited you in so that you could try it out.
Oh my gosh, be careful. Your white shirt.
Michaela!
Say it louder for the people at the back.
Michaela!
Yes.
Just say a name twice. Listen.
But third time, because she didn't seem consistent.
If you want to feel as inspired as Tabiso, expressoshow.com is where you can get your hands on that recipe and the ingredients list. But if you've missed any on the steps, here is a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.
Only you can make my day.
Rich taste that says you've arrived. Uyingakar. Living a life of illusion. Leaving your finances on the rocks. In this world of Bazotina Bantu, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, you gorgeous people. Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. We're live here on S3 on this beautiful Thursday morning. We're back chatting on video call with the founding partner and the group chief creative officer. He's both at this company, at leading advertising agency, Joe Public United. His name is Pepe Murray. He continues to give us tips on purpose and how purpose should be the key in driving businesses forward if they are hoping to survive COVID-19. Mr. Murray.
Welcome back.
Just I was watching you eat that bagel.
Oh, man. I'm still licking my lips and purposefully, yes, getting into that bagel. I loved it. Thank you. And we'll send you the recipe.
But maybe that's a good analogy. You know, often companies have always been trying to bite at the sweet bagel and not think about the people around them, as well as the people within the communities in which that company's businesses or office is situated. So I think maybe let's look at a global scale. I mean, how can we see that businesses are prioritizing purpose over profit when we analyze what's actually happening on a global scale?
So, you know, it's interesting. That's why I'm saying it's still a small percentage, because there's 44,000 roughly listed entities. Those are the listed ones, not even all the others that are not listed. And of those 44,000, I mean, when I look around, I try and read up on it, I find like 20 or 30 that are truly purpose-driven, you know, like the Patagonias or Whole Foods in America. But the ones that are purpose-driven, and there's a beautiful book on it. There's actually two books on it, Firms of Endearment, and another book is called, I think, Conscious Capitalism. And when you look at those companies, they are outperforming the Fortune 500. So purpose is profitable. And I've experienced that in my own personal endeavors as well. The more we are in service of our people and our clients and even our country, you know, at a micro level, the more profitable we become as a business. And as soon as we shift that focus to try and make money, our profits decline. So I've tracked this, and I know this to be a fact, and there's mega evidence on that. So purpose is more profitable, but to get people to buy that, you know, even when you show the evidence and the logic, is quite difficult, because I suppose we're in this habit of believing that we're in business to make money.
And I suppose one can argue that, yes, we are in the business of making money if you are in business, but when you then start to tap into purpose, you then are able to be more than just about the money. I mean, we're seeing it with brands like Expresso that we work with on the show here, who really then start to make far more sense in the communities that they work in. And this brings me to my next question. Do businesses that place environmental, social and governance issues at the center of their focus, do they typically tend to perform better than those that focus solely on profit? In your experience of the ones that you mentioned that have already started making that shift?
Yes, they do. So the whole triple bottom line also been around for probably a decade, if not more. I don't know exactly when that methodology came to the fore. People, profit and planet. So really looking after the sustainability of the planet. Those businesses that really and truly embrace it, and there's now even another shift. So COVID is bringing around huge consciousness, because we have to be concerned about our children now, and their futures. So there is a shift, and those businesses are factually proven to be more profitable. So when they design processes to, let's say, save water in the production, they find they become more profitable. So there's an incentive to also be more sustainable. But I want to very quickly pick up on what you said, this notion, because you said it, I suppose business is in business to make money.
Yeah.
It's not true. If you speak to any entrepreneur, mostly the ones who are successful, they will tell you they did not start their businesses to make money. And I think Phil Knight says it the most beautifully in his book, Shoe Dog. And I don't think a lot of people that read the book reads that part to what it means. But he says, we all know that blood must flow through our veins in order to stay alive. That blood must flow through your body. If it doesn't flow, you die. But if you ask me, why do I exist? I don't say to make blood. So money is the lifeblood of business. It's the lifeblood of business. We know that. Without it, your business will die. But you don't wake up in the morning thinking you must make blood. And it is such an unnatural phenomena to think that you get up in the morning to make money. You get up in the morning to make an awesome product, to serve your clients, the people that work in your organization. And if you do that with all your heart, you make a crap load of money. So it's as simple as that in my book, but I suppose to really get that is going to take a while.
Pepe, thank you so much for your pearls of wisdom. And I think what is quite key here, and I think the main narrative is that, when you do your thing for your community, it has to be with conviction. You can't do it to tap into a CSI budget. You have to do it to make sure that whatever the processes are and whatever your solution is in creating a product, is that it's also serving the community around you, as well as whatever you believe your purpose is. So I think business owners can take a massive page out of your book. Thanks a lot for joining us, Pepe.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
I love your denim outfit. I love
I knew you'd comment on it.
That your purpose for me has been inspiring me through that look.
Brilliant. I got my little badge.
There we go. And the blushes all around. Now, businesses should actually find their purpose. I think that's the key over here. And let that be the driving force behind every single thing that you do. Just listen to Pepe's advice, of course. And the first step is to look within and treat the business like a being as opposed to anything else that will lead you to profit. Rather lead you to a solution and, of course, prosperity, which is the whole idea with purpose. Thanks a lot to Pepe Murray for joining us. Over to Jamie. She's standing by. And she even just looks in her face purposeful. Take a look.
With intention. As always, so great to connect with Pepe Murray. However, it's also great to connect with you on our social media platforms this morning. It's a bit of a throwback Thursday. We said, if you could go back in time and give yourself a sound piece of advice, what would it be? We'd love to hear from you. Let us see what you had to say. So we had Charmaine Andrew coming through. She's saying, live life to the fullest. Make time for the people you love. Just enjoy life because it's yours and yours only. I hear you for that, girl, and we are here for all of that. Charmaine, Rorisang Carlo Umpolo King says, good morning. I'd say you have to put yourself first no matter what and don't let people walk over you. Hashtag Expresso Show. Get a girl. Maka also says, never trust people, never fall in love. No, you need love. You need to trust people. Maybe you just haven't found your tribe yet, but hopefully you will find your tribe soon. And then Zuleika also saying, good morning. I would not have allowed people's opinions of me to define me. Absolutely not. We think past that. But again, connect with us, Expresso Morning Show on S3. Let us know what piece of advice you would give to your younger self.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Now let's continue to find meaning in life and meaning in business. We are going to continue to chat now about how businesses can thrive in these difficult times. We have to recognize that obviously many establishments were affected during last month's unrest here in South Africa, where informal traders who had put their whole lives literally into starting their ventures, everything was taken away overnight. Now, as a result, a fantastic initiative called Stock a Shop was born to raise funds to help people rebuild their small businesses and lives in KwaZulu-Natal's Ilembe district. Now, the initiative was started by the husband and wife team that run the Hearts That Hope NPO, Kent and Lyndall van der Jacht, and they join us right now via video call to share some inspiration this morning. A very good morning, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. It sounds like you've been pretty busy over the last couple of weeks. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing well. We've been super busy.
Kent, maybe you can break down how Hearts That Hope all started and the work that you actually do within the community, the epicenter being the Ilembe district.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we work with foster children in our area, and how it started, we started in 2012 now, almost 9 years ago. And we were out in the community and just saw the need for all these children that didn't have parents or were just neglected. And we decided to started foster care for our kids and started taking some of them into our own home. And that's how it all started. And now we're running with it.
You're sprinting with it at this stage. It's amazing how finding a solution to one societal issue often opens a window into another. And once you've started that journey, you can't help but continue and add more to what you're doing. And Lyndall, maybe I'll put this to you. The Stock a Shop idea, how did that initiative come about? And what exactly has it taken to put this all together?
Well, there was a lot of fear going on after the protest that week. There was just so much fear in our communities. Ken started going out into the townships and seeing what needs there were. At the same time, I got a message on the Saturday morning from our church group just saying, how can we as women do something to help the communities? So I started praying about it. There were so many men doing things, and how could we help? And I felt God saying, you can stock a shop. Kent had told me about shops that had been destroyed and shop owners who were destitute. And I thought, I'll get some friends together and we'll get some funds. People can drop off some rice and we'll stock one shop. That happened on the Saturday, and by the Sunday afternoon, we had 100,000 Rand in our bank account ready to stock 10 shops. Wow. And we were just blown away. And from there, it's just snowballed and been an amazing journey.
That's incredible. From the worst to the very best of humanity. I love that.
Yeah,
so, Kent,
absolutely.
It takes around 7,500 to restock one of these informal shops. How did you work that out and kind of establish what each outlet really needs and how to use those funds in the most economical and, I suppose, impactful way?
Yeah. So it started out with, I was talking to the shop owners, but they were so shell-shocked with everything. They weren't ready to give answers to what they need. They couldn't even think. They didn't know what to do with their lives. And then I came home and asked the people that work at Hearts That Hope. We have a couple of house moms and just the maid that works in our home, and asked them, what do you buy in these shops? Because I didn't know exactly how these worked. And then we compiled a list and priced it, and we went with that for the first couple ones. And then after they were getting on their feet, they were telling us it would work if we could actually go to the supplier that we usually use, and that will start the supply chain better. So now we give them a voucher to go to the local shop here that they can buy all their goods. So now it's just us handing a voucher over to them, and they can go do the shop because they know the communities better and what the communities buy.
Completely, and it's reactivating, as you said, that supply chain, that entire ecosystem is being stimulated again. I would imagine there's impact on numerous levels. There's the economic, which is fantastic, but there's got to be a very strong emotional underpinning to everything that you're doing. Lyndall, what has the impact been like? What have you seen on the ground floor with this shift that, and I know it's a drop in the ocean compared to how much damage was done, but this is helping people in the most fundamental way. What has the reaction been like?
It's been really amazing. Kent's been the one kind of at the forefront going in mostly. And the times I go in, just seeing the shop owner community working together is incredible. This week, they brought another shop owner that we hadn't met yet to Kent to say, this guy, he needs to go next because he doesn't have food, we'll wait.
Wow.
And just seeing that community, incredible. And then talking to the community and seeing their reaction that it's helping them so much because they aren't having to spend 25 Rand on a taxi to go into the towns to buy food, because that's what they've now had to do. They can now go next door and buy their bread and their essentials. They don't have to spend that extra money that they just don't have. So it's helping that whole community, and then talking to the distributors saying how grateful they are that people are buying from them again because the shop owners weren't coming to them. So it's amazing how one little idea has affected not just the shop owners who we were hoping to affect, but the whole supply chain.
Yeah, the community as well. It's just so heartbreaking that we had to go through what we did to get to this point, but it's amazing to see what's going on. Just very quickly, Kent, where are you from, bud?
I'm from Seattle.
Oh, man.
I've lived here for 15 years now.
They lost an angel in you, my friend, and we certainly gained a warrior. I'm so glad that you are living here. Lyndall, Ken, thank you so much for the work that you're doing. I'm so proud that we could just give a little bit of a voice to the action that you are carrying out there. Just keep on at it. You guys are doing an amazing job. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
To find out more about how you can lend a helping hand in the most fundamental way and help to stock a shop, then be sure to head over to heartsthathope.com/stockashop. It's that easy.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Tissue Oil and Rich Body Care range for 48-hour rich moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, live on S3. Okay, let's talk fashion. It's never too early to start thinking about your summer wardrobe. You need to be planning and thinking about it right now. Today, and our fashion and beauty editor, Nox Mafu, is here to talk about her favorite summer staple, the timeless tee.
Love it.
I mean, it's simple.
Timeless.
It's classic, but it's
exactly. It's timeless and the greatest essential you need for any summer wardrobe.
But this is the thing about it. It's a great essential.
100%. And I think we take it for granted.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that people are like, oh, I can just use any tea. It's
from
about
10 years ago.
No. Every summer, I think there's a really good focus on how these things are made, and which makes my excitement for this range of teas really excited because the craftsmanship around it is absolutely impeccable.
I'm always amazed at how Woolies in particular is able to take what is classic and timeless and is sort of standard and known and switch it up in small details, but also in finishes and in fabrics, right?
Absolutely, and you hit that on the nail. I think the joy of these is that because they come in such a range of items, from your V-neck to your crew neck, all of these have been actually made with sustainably sourced cotton. And of course, there's always a focus on earth-friendly materials because sustainability is a big moment in fashion right now. And of course, your basic tee needs to be a great item to do so. But what I love about these teas is
how you're able to pair it. I'm sure you're going to tell me that.
Yes,
right?
you know how I do.
Let's go.
So what the joy is that these items are really, really easy to pair with any outfit. From your leggings to your kind of tinsel, your utility shorts, which are really going to be popular this summer.
Oh, those making a comeback
Exactly.
as well.
They're really, really cute. Come in a range of seasonal and pastel colors, which are really, really great. But what I love about these is that you can get them in a different range of things. So you've got your crew neck, you've got your boyfriend tee, which is...
That's the boyfriend
tee.
This
is the boyfriend.
It's like a girl would have taken it from her boyfriend's house.
What I mean?
Is that where the name comes from?
And there is a look, yes. It's the boyfriend, yes. But it's kind of that androgynous look. So if you want to have a more baggy effect with kind of your boyfriend or kind of skinny jeans. But of course, we've got the lighter weight where it's a bit more of a lower neck. And then, of course, your classic striped patterning over here, which we can see in these beautiful items.
The difference is huge.
It is.
Once you start seeing the patterns and striping, for example, it really does elevate it.
But I think it's also how you wear it. So whether you choose to go with leggings for a more casual look, or you went with the shorts that we went into a denim, a classic item that you can add with your tee.
So how would you style it? And I know that you've gotten into this to see how this can then look as a full look.
Exactly. So what we've done is we've given her, let's start with your top, Jay, looking absolutely incredible. So we've given her the crew neck simple tee, which is great. Also beautiful popular colors at the moment. We are seeing the greens are really having their moment. And then tie-dye, pair it with the trend because it's a great so the t-shirt then becomes the base of the outfit. And when I say building your summer wardrobe, it's about getting those good essentials. It's got new stay new technology, which it'll always remain that color.
One might be tempted to think that if it's a classic and it's timeless, that it'll always look flat, bland and boring. But that is the thing that you're showing us here.
Absolutely.
Is the ability to change all of that. But what I did like about the t-shirt as you were showing us, Jamie, you are loving this.
She looks great.
This is your moment.
She is moment. And
you are living in it.
It's trend and staple mixed together. And I think it looks incredible. We paired that with those everyday sneakers. And she looks on trend but comfortable.
I love that.
And that's what fashion is about now. It's about finding that functionality, finding that ease and that cool. Which is
finding the balance between what's edgy, what's comfortable, and merging those together. Yes, look at the way she even walked off the gun. Knox, listen, you always are coming through with the best details we need, but the best details in the styling of the items that you brought along as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure.
Because every single time we link up, it's
a good time.
Oh, yes, queen. Now, you at home can refresh your look with new colors and style updates for spring and summer. Shop your favorite tees at Woolworths, available in-store, online, or on the app. Happy shopping.
Welcome to the kitchen. Now, after some fashion, what we need to do is fashion a bit of food and something very, very lovely. Now, when I say red velvet bundt cake, I know it's like I'm flirting with you, but it's just one of those things. It's that delicious when you say it. And I got the perfect person to flirt along with me, with you. And that is Michaela Tsuen, and she's going to give you something incredible. All right? Look at that. You see it, the smiles. It's happening. Okay, so let me just give you a little spectrum as to what we're talking about. So we got a special treat to celebrate all the incredible women in our lives. We're talking about mom, daughter, granny, best friend. It's a Women's Month, and we have to celebrate beautiful with some homemade happiness. Now, wherever you go, you can do this for somebody that you love, and I think that this red velvet bundt cake, it's not only a flirting thing, don't worry, it's also about telling somebody that you love them, and that's what we're doing today. We are celebrating every moment and a beautiful milestone it could be in somebody's life. So let's do it. Michaela, I'm ready to go. I am excited about this, and you have an entire kit. So we can just leave the kit here and walk away.
Yeah, it will do it.
Perfect. Thought so. Let's go.
Okay, let's go. Bye.
Okay, so let's jump into this now. This is this is an entire kit.
Yeah, these are for cupcakes. So you also get little cupcake holders, and some sprinkles.
I love
Everyone loves sprinkles.
Yes, I love sprinkles.
We'll use those at the end. This one is for you, though.
Thank you.
It's icing sugar.
I'm ready for icing sugar. Let's do that.
I
Okay.
won't give you the scissors and see if you can open that.
Well, let's give it a shot. This could go
You know
terribly
they
wrong.
have tear lines, right?
Or I could just pop it open like that. Remember, back in the day, I used to eat a lot of what they would call fiber chips, which means that I can open packets so successfully.
Nice.
That's one of those things. I try my best. Now, how much of this do I put into this mix over here?
The whole thing.
The whole thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so what are you doing over there? You just
I
popped
have
2
some-
eggs into a bowl.
I have some water,
Yes.
eggs, and some oil.
The water,
because-
does it have to be room temperature?
Preferably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Baking.
Whisk those together. No one saw.
When you say whisk, what happened? Did you spill?
I did.
Did I not see that? Okay, great.
I did spill a little. Tricks of the trade.
It is indeed. Right. Pack it down now. What
And
am
then I had another
am
bowl.
I folding?
Yeah, fold for gold.
Am I fold for
gold?
Yes! That's it. It's going to be a new company that Michaela and I are going to start. Let me fold for gold. What we're going to do, we're doing baking and poker nights. It's going to be fun. Fold for gold. It's going to be wonderful. But just a quick one. Snowflake Creations Red Velvet Cupcake Mix. I mean, did you know that actually that Snowflake Creations Red Velvet Cupcake Mix isn't just limited to creating only cupcakes? I know they give you the cupcake, sort of receptacles, but at the same time, you can make things like this bun cake. I have to say receptacle because it's nice when you say big words in the morning. You're welcome. But all you need is imagination. You can create pretty much anything, and the Snowflake range actually has deliciously simple, flop-proof premixes for you to choose from. Just add a couple of kitchen staples, as we've shown you here today, and a batch of your family's favorite goodies, and throw it all together, and then just let it go. Let's go for it. That's it.
Only trick is you don't want to over-mix the actual batter. So once it's all combined, you're like, okay, cool, I'm good to go.
What I'm having here in my bowl is what they would call very terug. Okay. This is
You know what you actually need?
Because I need something. Is there something that I need to wet this?
No, you don't. You actually just need a hand mixer.
A hand mixer?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want me to go
This
hand
is-
mixer on you?
No, no. What? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go faster. That's
Okay,
like
I'm
not
going.
enough. Use
Hand
those
mixer.
guns, man.
Done. Thank you very much. Next question, please. All right. Okay, but you see, you use a premix, which is kind of unfair if you think about it. And look at
Why?
this. You're already done. I'm still busy. My thing still looks like the top of a mountain
You
in
still have to
Sirius.
keep going.
Sure.
Like, keep mixing that.
Okay, I'm
together.
going to mix it. That's right. That's why
Then
I'm a
I
DJ. I know how to let's shake it down. All right. Okay, so by the way, do you know that this particular thing, all right, this bundt cake pan
Yes.
was actually created by this American chemical engineer? And his name is H. David Dahlquist, and what he did was he was all about making things nice and easy, and that's what he did. And then it got caught on to some of the Eastern Bloc countries, and as well as Germany, and then they made something called a Gugelhupf, and from the Gugelhupf, they created something called the bundt cake.
Are you actually like being serious now?
I'm
Because
saying,
I like,
get serious. I'll tell you what, I say Gugelhupf, Google it. Because that's
I like
exactly...
legit never know if you're like telling
I'm telling the truth. I promise I'm telling the truth. That's it. Honestly, why would I lie to you? As a 21-year-old, why would I lie to you? Anyway.
Right. If you're 21,
yes, then
I'm a newborn.
Correct. You look so great. That's why your skin is so beautiful. That's one of those things. All right.
Stop it.
It's a use. It's
Don't
red
make me
velvet
blush.
bun cake. Well, I mean, it's red velvet. It makes sense. You have to make somebody blush along the way. By the way, I'm doing so well over here. I'm at the
You are
crumbly
actually
consistency.
getting it right. Keep going.
And any time now, it'll become liquid and easily to apply. Because this essentially, where's this going, by the way? Am I creating
The icing.
The icing.
drizzle ice. Well, actually, the one that's pre-made has drizzle icing. This would be more of like a thick icing.
Okay, look, at the moment, I just want to ask you, right? Icing, I know, is quite loose and it's easy to apply. At the moment, this is icing fudge. So I want to know, how do you apply icing fudge to our bundt cake? Because it feels like it's going to be more of a spread than anything else.
So in the end, you just have to give it time, okay, Carl? You like, look at it. It's starting to come together.
At the moment, I have a dough. I'm ready to make another bundt cake, but made of only icing. That's what I have.
The weird thing about mixing cream cheese and icing sugar together is it becomes very runny if you start adding too much
All right,
icing sugar.
I'm ready. You know what?
Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? You're so dramatic.
I love it because you said hand mixer. Introducing the human hand mixer, Carl Wasty. Here I am. Now, if you want this recipe, go to expressoshow.com. That's what you can do. And I just want to let you know here.
Literally, in that whole entire time that you've been mixing that, I have created this swirl inside this bundt cake mix.
Yes.
By taking some very soft cream cheese, made some blobs, and then took the back of my spoon and just swirled it on in. And that adds quite a nice marbled effect into it.
I am very proud of it. Actually worked. Okay, while I continue this, I want to tell you something, all right? I want you to do something special. It's Women's Month, and I've been inspired by you. So you can actually tag a special person in your life, a special woman, and you can tag her and win with Snowflake. Now, simply purchase any Snowflake product, and remember to keep the till slip, very important. Then cook or bake something for a special female figure in your life using your Snowflake product. Share a pic of your creation with the product used on the Snowflake Facebook page, and share how you create homemade happiness with Snowflake. So don't forget, hashtag Snowflake Homemade to stand a chance to win 2,500 Rand cash or a voucher to the value of 2,500 Rand. Winners will be announced 31 August. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com and snowflake.co.za. So get creating and be patient with your icing.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. We have jammed so much into the first 2 hours. We're a little bit late for our news catch-up, but 3 minutes after 8. Let's delve back into those national news headlines.
Thank you, Graham. Google Trends turned 15 years old yesterday, and it released the most searched for topics on the search engine over the period, this period of time in South Africa. A look at the list reveals that, among other things, South Africans use the internet to find the answers to pressing questions, remain informed on topical issues, connect to government services, keep up with their favorite public figures, and look for work, food, entertainment, and health-related information. Among the top 5 searched questions in South Africa are where to stay, how to make money fast, and what is love? And staying in South Africa, Gauteng Premier David Makhura says his government has now shifted its COVID-19 inoculation program to farmers and farm workers. Makhura yesterday launched the program at Devon Abattoir outside Springs on the East Rand, and by midday, some 100 workers had been inoculated. The Premier said that they were targeting at least 200 farm workers per day, and he said Gauteng is an urban-dominated province, but farm workers deserve to be vaccinated like other people in parts of the province. In international news, only a third of the number of elephants offered for sale at a Namibian auction has been disposed of. The Ministry of Environmental Affairs said 170 animals were up for sale. The government says the auction helped correct the balance between conservation and management of elephants. However, environmentalists question the government's reason for the conflict between elephant populations and humans. More than 100,000 people signed a grievance action against the auction. The ministry says open opposition to the auction has likely affected the demand for elephants. Meanwhile, in Canada, Canadians wishing to eat at a restaurant, go to a bar or gym, or attend a festival in Quebec will have to present a vaccine passport as from September the 1st. The province will be the first in Canada to require such passes, which are increasingly being used across the world to limit entry to public places to those who have been vaccinated, recovered from COVID-19, or tested negative. Last week, New York became the first American American city to announce the introduction of vaccine passes for access to public places. And next, the man from Zim who started watching TV cooking shows. Well, we're very happy to report that an old friend of the Expresso show, David Tsopo, a former Zimbabwean residing in Linden, Johannesburg, has gone from strength to strength since we last spoke to him on Zoe's birthday in February, and his business is thriving. David's story is one of success. He'd lost his job as a dishwasher due to COVID-19, but then started watching cooking shows after his neighbor shared his Wi-Fi password. And soon he discovered a penchant for baking. With the support of others, he established his very own business, aptly named Cakey by Davy, and people around him blended together with regard to the supplies and opportunities that he needed to make his dream a reality. Now, these acts of kindness, they helped him become a full-time baker, and Cakey by Davy has flourished into a booming business. With the help of friends, Davy has indeed achieved true success. Let them have cake, Davy. That's where we leave it for this morning. He has a final look at what's happening in Sports with Graham.
Thanks so much, Tubbsy. Let's start with rugby news. Springbok women's head coach Stanley Robenheimer has named his squad for the first of 2 test matches against Kenya, playing out at the Dani Craven Stadium starting from today in Stellenbosch. Lusanda Dumka will captain the team. That's after our regular captain Nolasindiso Boy is having to sit out with injury. Then Western Province wing Alicia Aries and Blue Bulls women's lock Katha Jacobs, they will both make their debuts for the Bok women. Congratulations there. The match between South Africa and Kenya can be streamed live on Springboks.rugby. That's from 3 p.m. this afternoon. Then on to franchise level rugby. Defending champions, the Bulls are back on track. They made their way back to the top of the Currie Cup table. That was after beating a very spirited Griquas at Loftus yesterday. The team from Pretoria scoring 8 tries to record an impressive 56-33 win and bounce back to overcome the Griquas. And other Currie Cup results from last night, the Cheetahs and Lions, they scored a total of 12 tries, but couldn't find a difference between them. They registered a 44-all draw at the Toyota Stadium in Bloem. Then the match between the Pumas and the Sharks in Nelspruit was unfortunately cancelled in line with COVID-19 protocols after positive cases were confirmed in the Sharks camp. The result has been noted as a 0-0 draw. Then making his way in Canada, South African tennis sensation Lloyd Harris is now through to the Canadian Open last 16. That was after easing past Spaniard Feliciano Lopez in the round of 32 rather. The 24-year-old recorded a 6-2, 6-3 straight sets victory over Lopez to advance in Toronto. That means Harris will now face American Riley Opelka in the last 16 later today. Finally, plenty to be excited about in the world of football, with many of the seasons kicking off again this weekend. But let's talk about last night's action. UEFA Champions League winners Chelsea, they beat Europa League champions Villarreal on penalties to win the Super Cup now as well, and that was in Belfast late last night. Hakim Ziyech, he opened the scoring for the Blues in the 27th minute before Gerard Moreno equalised in the 73rd for the Spaniards to force the extra time. And after it all ended 1-1 at Windsor Park, Thomas Tuchel's team eventually walked away victorious, beating Villa 6-5 on penalties. So Chelsea will be back in action on Saturday as the brand new English Premier League season kicks off. And we'll delve a little deeper into all of the possible permutations in our weekend sports preview tomorrow, so stick around for that. But right now, it seems like interesting news on the weather front on the planet and off it.
Thanks a lot, G. Let's talk about something that is on the planet, but is going to be gazing at something off it. Now, interesting space news is that at a historical meeting of its council, the recently formed SCAR Observatory, or SCAR-O in the UK, saw its member states approve the start of construction of the SCAR telescopes in Australia and SA. The 2 telescopes, currently designated SCAR-Low and SCAR-Mid, names which describe the radio frequency range they each cover, will be the 2 largest and most complex networks of radio telescopes ever built. In addition to delivering exciting and revolutionary science, their construction will produce tangible societal and economic benefits for countries involved in the project. There has been significant engagement between the SCAR-O's local partners, the SA Radio Astronomy Observatory, and local communities in preparation for the start of construction. A memorandum of understanding was signed with Agri-SA, of which many members own farms in the district of Sutherland in the Karoo, and who will host antennas of SCAR-Mid. An MOU was signed with the Sand Council of SA as well, and be sure to watch Dr. Daniel Kahnemer, Science Engagement Astronomer at the SA Astronomical Observatory, who will elaborate on this major development just after this particular news report, so stay tuned for that. So we love a little international exploration. We always do, so keeping it in the US of A. For any of our viewers tuning in via the Africa Channel and YouTube, we head to Carmel by the Sea, a quaint Californian town filled with sugar white sands along the Pacific Ocean, with a shoreline of stunning cliffs and wispy cypress trees and a Spanish mission-style downtown anchor. This community, which is tucked into the beautiful wine region. A random fun fact regarding this town is that actor Clint Eastwood is a former mayor. And of course, do you feel lucky? Punk. We are definitely so fortunate to experience such breathtaking sunrises here in South Africa, and we just love seeing the photos you capture. Starting us off at 6 a.m. It's a regular contributor who we have chatted to before, Nancy Governor from Pennington in KZN, who captured yet another winner of a sunrise over the ocean with this warm-hued photo. Thank you for this. Nomapelo Pesh Akayengana from Mtata shared this hazy sunrise photo overlooking the landscape of the area. And kicking us off at 7 a.m., we had Ntokoza Theo Makatini from Joburg, who shared a view of the blue sky in his area, scattered with a few clouds as the day begins. And we then journey to the coast, where Razin Pandi from Gqeberha captured this gorgeous sunrise as the sun just peaks over the horizon, casting a beautiful orange-filled sky over the area. You're getting better and better every single day. I love it. Please continue to share your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We love seeing how you start your day as we start those temperatures. And it does look like an interesting day in South Africa, because in the north it feels like summer, in the south like winter. So let's go there. Polokwane, let's start with you, 9 to 25. Bombela, 12 to 35 for you. Pretoria, 10 to 24. Johannesburg, you look partly cloudy, but 8 to 22. Mahikeng, you start at 5 degrees Celsius, but you're up to 26. Klerksdorp, good morning to you. 4 to 25 today. Kimberley, you start at just 0, but you are up to around 18. Bloemfontein, -1. And then in the afternoon, 20 degrees Celsius. Richards Bay, some rain expected, around a 43% chance. 14 to 22 the temperatures. Pietermaritzburg, 7, and you go up steadily to 22, partly cloudy, and a 25% chance of precipitation. Durban, 12 to 22 for you today. Mtata, you can expect a little bit of rain, 40% chance, 5 the minimum to a maximum of 17. East London, you top at just 17 as well, from a low of 9, with a 74% chance of rain in your area. Cradock, 2 to 12. Gqeberha, you've got 7 to 13, definitely rain today if it isn't raining already. George, 6 to 11, an 86% chance of precipitation. Cape Town, 10 to 14. Worcester, you can expect just 1, so nice and chilly, and you're up to only 10. Even colder in Sutherland, -3, and your maximum, believe it or not, is just 4, 55% chance of rain. And then Uppington, 4, and you'll be up to 17 a tad later. That's a wrap of the temperatures, as well as your sunrise photos and the weather news. And if you do have any sunrise pics you want to send over to us, we love seeing them on the Expresso Facebook page. And do stand by. I did mention something about the SCAR telescopes. More to come with our Dr. Daniel Kahnemer.
Yes, indeed. The SKA is a go. It's a green light. We're going to talk to Dr. Dan in just a moment. Really excited.
Yeah, Ashley Hilton and the Stash Band are still here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, so stick with us right here. We'll see you after this.
Welcome back as we get a view into, or maybe past, the final frontier like we have never had before. The Square Kilometre Array is a name that you are likely to hear a lot about in the news in the coming months and hopefully coming years. It's set to be the world's largest radio telescope to explore the universe and probably the biggest in the universe. And it's going to be built in Australia and right here in South Africa. A project spanning 2 continents, and our favorite astronomer in the universe, no, never mind just this planet, Dr. Daniel Kahneman now connects with us with a smile that's even broader than usual. Buddy, my first question is, do I call it the SKA or do I call it the SCAR?
SKA.
SKA. Okay, you said that you've sucked the fun out of it already, man. No,
Sorry,
buddy,
man.
this is massive. We've got the green light for construction. This is really, really big and good news for South Africa, for the world.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. This has been something which was dreamt up 30 years ago, and it's been a massive and complicated process to get where we are now. Just understanding how radio telescopes work better, going through the whole design process, putting forward science cases, and just really trying to figure out what this thing can do and how it's going to do it. And to be at the point where all those boxes are ticked, and the green light for construction has finally been awarded. It's a very, very exciting time for astronomy.
I'm just thinking about the permits, man, the permits that you needed to get and the discussions with all the farmers in the Karoo, like, you want to do what? You want to build what on my farm? It's amazing to me that this is a joint collaborative effort. And we know that a portion is being built in South Africa and a portion in Australia. So how is it all going to come together and actually work?
Yeah, so it's a multinational organization now. So there's been an international treaty signed between various countries. I think it's 16 at the last count, and they are all the member countries for this SKA project. But then beyond that, there's even more countries and individuals involved. You know, about 1,000 scientists working on this from 40 different countries, and so it's a hugely international project. And then the headquarters are in Manchester in the UK, and the telescope will be split over 2 sites in South Africa in the Northern Cape and in Western Australia. In South Africa, you'll see the large dishes, the DSTV style dishes, which we saw in the intro, but obviously a lot bigger. They're 15 meters across, not 1. And in Australia, you'll get a different frequency telescope, which looks more like your traditional analog TV antenna.
What are we hoping to see? What is the goal here with this mammoth project?
Everything. We want to see everything. So the original concept was basically to look back to the beginning of time. So in order to look at the very, very early universe, when the first stars and galaxies are forming, we need to look in the radio. We can't look in optical. You can't look in different wavelengths. Radio is the one if you want to look that far back. Don't be confused by the current pictures on your screen, which are optical telescopes. So really, we've built a telescope which can see back to the beginning of time, and that is just going to give us so much information. There are other things too. So there's sort of 5 key science drivers. So there are other areas of physics which we will be exploring. And I have no doubt that we'll be making some incredible sort of groundbreaking discoveries over the next 10 or 20 years.
From a South African perspective, this is obviously a quantum leap forward. The fact that we are level pegging with literally the upper echelon of scientific minds in the world. As a scientific mind here in South Africa and someone who's obviously very closely connected to this, why are you so excited, my friend?
Oh, I mean, as a South African, you know, to see this happen, we put a lot of energy into astronomy, and the government's had a huge amount of support under Naledi Pandor when she was the science minister. You know, she put a lot of effort into making these sorts of projects happen, and for that to come to fruition now, it's really incredible for us. We've got you know, this whole sort of country full of astronomers which has grown up over the last 25 years, and that has laid the groundwork for getting awarded something like the SKA. And so it's really a culmination of a lot of effort over many decades. And now the opportunities for young astronomers in South Africa are just, there's no end. It's completely open to us. We've got astronomers here who will, in the next, hopefully 20 or 30 years, be winning Nobel Prizes, because we really are at the forefront of astronomy now.
Oh, I love the sound of absolutely everything you're saying. I'm just picturing the next 5 little Dr. Daniel Kahnemars being born out of this wonderful opportunity. Like you say, a massive kudos to all of the scientists, the politicians, everyone who has worked for the last nearly 3 decades to make this a reality. Dr. Dan, we celebrate with you, my friend. This is a massive step forward for not just South Africa, but for the planet. And I love the fact that this is collaborative. This is multinational. That has to be a massive thumbs up. Dr. Dan, thanks as always for getting us so excited about science. We love you, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Just who knows the next scientific mind that's going to be inspired by this. Now they'll have access to the pinnacle of science, and it's right here in South Africa.
Love it. From SKA, we go on to MUSIC with a guy named ASHLEY, or Ashley. That's perfect. Now, multi-instrumentalist and songwriter Ashley Hilton and the Stash Band are standing by to perform a beautiful song called Still. The lyrics of the song is dedicated to Ashley's daughter as dads and their girls. She has a special bond unlike any other, and you're about to spend a lovely good time, spending some lovely time with Ashley Hilton and his Stash Band. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be incredible. Here it is. STILL, Still.
I'll climb a mountain just to climb 1,000 more. I'll swim the ocean just to see you at my door. To go out to realize that it's not about you, not about me. Because I still, see, I still have love. Oh yes, I still, see, I still have love. Blessed was the day us two became us three. Happy was the way, oh Lord, you gave me a little me. To go out to realize that it's not about you, not about me. Because I still, see, I still have love. Oh yes, I still, see, I still have love. Bring some soul, Heinrich. Mountain just to climb 1,000 more. I'll swim the ocean just to see you at my door. To go out to realize that it's not about you, not about me. For the last time, boys. because I still, see, I still have love, because I still, see, I still have love.
It made me smile. It did. Like, it made me smile. I'm smiling, okay? And that song's called Still, and they will still be here for another track in your Feel Good Breakfast shows. They don't go anywhere. And also, elephants after the break. Stay there. That was still lekker. Yeah.
Plan your next holiday with Marriott Hotels. Explore the best of Mzansi from our incredible coastlines, mountains, nature retreats, and bush escapes. Marriott Bonvoy members enjoy 20% off standard rates plus free breakfast, and non-members 15% off, and with flexible cancellation. Not yet a member? Join when you book. Book now on Marriott.com for the best rates guaranteed.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back as we head back into the wild. Actually, one of my favorite segments, and I'm really excited about this one this morning. So, on August 12th of 2012, the inaugural World Elephant Day was launched to create awareness of the urgent, and I stress urgent, plight of Asian and African elephants, and to share knowledge and positive solutions for the better care and management of captive and wild elephants.
And the only way that we can do this is through information and bringing the right people to chat to you. So Dr. Michelle Henley, the co-founder, CEO and principal researcher of a non-profit organization called Elephants Alive, connects with us to tell us more about this magnificent creature. Welcome, Doctor. It's great to have you on Expresso.
Good morning. It's great to be here on this very, very special day.
A vitally important day at that. African elephants are listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List of threatened species. Can you tell us a bit more about their current plight?
So that status has actually been updated recently, and they've moved from vulnerable to endangered.
Wow.
Which makes it even more imperative that we really bring the elephant into the room today and consider what's happening. In the space of 60 years, in the space of 50 years, we've lost 60% of the African elephant. And it's even worse for the forest elephant. We've lost 86% of the forest elephants in the space of 31 years. So, you know, that's why they've moved from vulnerable to endangered for the savanna species, and for the forest species, they've moved from endangered to critically endangered.
Endangered. That's decimation. That's utterly decimated. Yeah.
And the only way we can correct our actions is if we delve into the contributing issues as to why this is happening. So, in your experience, Doctor, what is actually happening to these elephants? Detail it for us, because I think we need to hear the cold truth as to what is actually going on.
Yeah.
So since 2006, there's been a massive poaching wave because elephants' teeth, ivory, has value to people, and especially in the Far East. So what we found is that between 2010 and 2012, so that's in the space of 3 years, that over 100,000 elephants were killed or poached for their ivory. And this actually reached its peak in 2011 when the ivory price was escalating at over $2,000 per kilogram. So that was driving this terrible poaching wave. And at one point we were losing one elephant every 15 minutes, which is just a disaster. I mean, that's really unsustainable. And then, of course, the other massive threat to elephants is the loss of habitat, as our numbers are increasing and they are being compressed more and more within their range. And also when they break out of their range, because often we have to keep them in places that are too small for them, then there's an escalation of human-elephant conflict. So on that level as well, 62% of Africa is actually habitable to elephants, but they're only occupying 17% of that. And also 54% of that range is actually outside of protected areas. So that's why, you know, because elephants have large spatial requirements, food and water requirements, we need to think of ways in which we can connect the landscape for them so that they've also got a larger range.
It requires the organizations to talk to each other. I mean, you're hitting us with some cold, hard truths here. Yeah. It is very difficult to palate, especially the losses. That, to me, is it's actually unforgivable. And I would imagine even more frustrating knowing that there are solutions out there. It's just about mobilizing the right people and, as you pointed out, connecting the right people. Now, Elephants Alive is a non-profit organization striving to do exactly this, working to ensure the survival of elephants. How are you setting about your task?
Well, you know, we've been tracking elephants since 1998, and by that I mean we fit them with collars so that we can see where they move, and that's become really important to see these elephants that are moving outside of protected areas and moving through human-dominated areas to actually link conservation areas. So they're showing us that our thinking for them is too small. And that's really important, that we know how to link these protected areas to give them enough space to thrive and to also live out their lives with the social integrity that they have, because they have very complex social lives. So, you know, us understanding how they move, where they need to move is really important. And then also in South Africa specifically, people are worried about areas where elephants are compressed within their range and their impact on large trees. And that leads to like a mild form of human-elephant conflict, which we've been mitigating by using, for instance, bees to protect large trees. And then, you know, you're also busy conserving the important ecosystem services that bees offer, while diminishing that conflict. So that's a very South African-based approach.
Love
but
that.
In Kenya, where, you know, where our collared elephants have shown us where these corridors are, we're also working at diminishing human-elephant conflict, because that increases their survival by teaching people to grow unpalatable crops that can protect their food crops and also have a monetary value to them, and also use beehive fences, such as being used by Dr. Lucy King in Kenya to protect their crops. So, you know, there's a whole lot of ways in which we can ensure that communities actually experience living with elephants as a bonus and not a burden, and that will also help increase their survival.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I mean, that's just part one. We've got so many other little facets of what is a very, very important plight to focus on today. So Dr. Michelle Henley will be with you in the next couple of minutes as we get on to animals of a different sort.
Well, when it comes to animals, no matter how big or how small those animals are, a little bit of TLC is always necessary, and it really is all they want.
Yes, we talk about cuddles, we talk about walks, snacks, and extra cuddles are all the best parts of being a dog. Now, our very own Raul de Mornay, Mr. Nature Boy himself, decided to extend his love for his beautiful husky, Harkin. We all love Harkin.
Yeah.
Even further by giving him the ultimate grooming day. Take a look at
I'm
this.
looking at the pictures here. It's insane.
Cute, right?
Right, so normally for any opportunity and free time that I do get, I take my boy Harkin out into the mountain or any crazy adventure that I do have. But I thought today, let's do something a bit different and do a little self-care day. So we're gonna go for a good brush and a nice bath and get him all clean and ready for the next adventure. One thing is for sure though, I haven't actually tried this myself because I normally get the professionals to do it, so hopefully he's gonna be a good boy. Hey, you're gonna be a good boy for me? Let's get you clean. If you haven't noticed, Harkin is a husky, and what that means is that they are quite high maintenance, and especially when it comes to their beautiful fur coat. It's got two types of fur. It's straight dog fur, and then they've also got this insulating layer. So especially in winter, you want to make sure that this is maintained so it doesn't mat up and prevent them from insulating and potentially getting freezing cold. And luckily, he also loves the tickles. Hey, boy! Now you really want to get yourself a proper brush that can really get in there with the fur. Now I've got a graded brush which has different sized teeth. What that allows for is to get at that insulating level as well as the top fur too. And of course this helps with when I'm always going outdoors, when I'm hiking, and just in those tall grasses you can pick up a lot of parasites. So this really helps remove that. And on top of it you want to just detangle him and get rid of any excess hair before we get in the bath so that we're not left with a massive wet clump of hair. Now obviously with a beautiful coat like this and being out in the wild and out in nature, I take an extra step in precaution and I use a product like NexGuard Spectra, which is absolutely incredible. It's a broad spectrum treatment that prevents all those unwanted parasites and ticks, fleas, you name it, and it's definitely becoming a non-negotiable in our self-care routine. Hey boy. Whoa, check this out. I promise you almost every single day I'll brush him and I get so much hair, but I think he's definitely ready for bath time. Hey boy, let's go, let's go, let's go. So look, there's so many ways to obviously get your dog wet before you lather in all the goodness, and you want to make sure that he's comfortable when you do that. So make sure you can use a bath indoors and get the water to be a little bit lukewarm. We're blessed with a nice sunny day, so it doesn't matter too much. But if it is winter, inside is always best. But if you don't have that as an option, then lukewarm water, or like you saw me just adding some water to the bowl, that always really does help. You want to make it as comfortable an experience as ever, and make sure that they can enjoy it too. Now that your pup is all nice and wet, you can start the lathering process. And it's very important to make sure that you get a dog-friendly shampoo. Don't use your own, and of course make sure that you get in there, especially all the areas that often get very dirty. So get in that underbelly, get on his chest, get on the paws, especially because those are the areas that get really dirty. But he looks like he's loving this though, hey? Not too bad. So Harkin is a rescue pup, and when I adopted him, he was in the greatest condition. And one thing that I did notice is they had a stab wound on his back. So it's a very sensitive area when I do wash him and brush him. So you really want to look out for that, and especially for your animals at home too. Any sensitive areas that they do have, be cautious, be gentle, and of course, keep the experience comfortable and enjoyable. Okay, looks like we've done with the shampooing, and that's enough for my boy, and he's looking nice and clean too. So let's get this rinsed off and dry him. All right, so one clean but wet dog right up over here. But the next part is, of course, drying him. So grab an old towel in the house and have some fun with this one. You really want to get involved and try and get rid of, get rid of all that excess moisture in the fur. And, make some fun of it. Hey, boy. Yes. You love this part, eh? definitely deserve yourself a treat, eh? Now look, this is not only a treat, but it's also a dental stick, which means he's looking after his teeth, and this is going to complete the end of our beautiful self-care session. You ready, boy? Sit. Oh, there you go. Go, boy. Now look, Harkin is a little bit damp and I don't want him to get on the couch just yet, and I thought, why not do this old school and go for a nice walk and a trip dry at the same time and show off his nice, clean, beautiful coat. Let's go, boy. Now, what an incredible day of grooming, and it doesn't just mean keeping your dog clean. It's an opportunity to bond with them and show them how much you truly love them. A healthy dog is a happy dog. Isn't that right, Hockey Bumps? Yes, yes.
Oh, man.
Harkin is probably the spoiled dog ever.
Living the life.
Living his best life.
What's the one main thing that you learned from that?
That you need to take care of your dogs and you need to like get in there and just like...
No, the one main thing.
What do you mean?
Don't use your own shampoo. Use a dog-friendly shampoo.
That too.
That's the main thing for me. Oh, thanks, Nick Scott. I love that. Ryle, well done.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Camphor Cream, enriched with camphor and glycerine. Trusted to restore and repair dry skin. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here on S3. And in case you missed it, we had part one with our doctor, Dr. Michelle Henley, the co-founder, CEO, and principal researcher of a non-profit organization called Elephants Alive. And we are commemorating World Elephant Day. Welcome back, Doctor. You gave us some very cold, hard stats that we needed to hear because we want to make a proper change with regard to what is a massive plight for elephants across the world.
So let's continue on that lane now. Yeah. So if we continue to kill, and I'm going to speak specifically about the African elephant that's very close to our heart, obviously. If we continue to kill them for their ivory at the rate that we currently are and far exceed the birth rate, what's going to happen? What trajectory are we on here?
Well, I mean, we're going to end up killing more elephants than what elephants are being born, and then we're going to lose them, which will, I think, be terrible because they are ecosystem engineers. You know, if you look at the importance of elephants, what they do for the ecosystem, they carry up to 150 kilograms of dung per day against the gradient. So most soils are being leached, but these are mega fertilizing agents. So they're putting nutrients back into the earth They can carry seeds 65 kilometers from their source. So they're really important gardeners. And they're also modifying the vegetation structure all the time and lowering it to make it available to other species. They dig wells in dry riverbeds that often species in arid areas are very dependent on that water that actually elephants bring to the surface. So I think it will be a very sad day ecologically, and we'll see things unravel in certain ecosystems if we have to see elephants disappear. But also on a psychological level, I think elephants are really a symbol of what we know in Africa as Ubuntu.
Yeah.
You know, their whole society is so closely connected that, you know, the individual elephant is what it is because of the society in which it lives and thrives. And so I think, you know, World Elephant Day is just a call to action to put elephants in the room and for us to remember them and to consider how we should allow them to thrive and have their freedom, give them the resources that they need. Because I think, you know, it's really important what they represent to us. They compete with us for resources, and we should be privileged in Africa that we share our continent with such a magnificent creature.
Oh, completely. I just want to build on that. You know, if you look at critically endangered now, the forest elephant, when are we in danger of losing the species altogether?
Well, when it reaches, when there's a continual trajectory of elephant loss as opposed to elephants being born. So we are fortunate that in some of the southern African states, we still got increasing populations, but there is excessive pressure all the time to use elephants and, you know, for the resources that they offer and because they are in conflict with humans. So we don't want to reach that point. We want it to stabilize. And as I said, you know, they've already moved from vulnerable to endangered. And that should be a red alert for us to really consider how we can protect them and how important they are to us as humans.
Dr. Michelle Henny, thank you so much for your wisdom today to celebrate World Elephant Day.
Terrifying, but
It is indeed, and this is a keystone species. We need them on this planet, and I think it's safe to say that, you know, an elephant never forgets, and we should never forget elephants. That's just the key right there on this beautiful day. So thanks so much, Doctor, for your advice and for sharing so beautifully in this, you know, very celebratory type of day.
It's my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for the interview.
Oh man, the world needs more people living selflessly for the plight of others. And in this case, the plight of the elephant, as we have heard, has moved from just being a concern to something that is of critical nature right now. We need to do more, and it starts with you.
All right, listen to this. Crispy, flaky, buttery, delicious. No, not me. Pies. They are the ultimate comfort food, and I love them. And today we're going the sweet route, and we're making pecan and apple pies. Oh, yes! Our secret ingredient to getting them perfectly crisp and flaky, well, it's the air fryer. And Jamie Lee, I think, has the secret to sort of like bring it together before it goes into the air fryer.
That's the secret. The air fryer is the secret.
So what are you doing here?
I'm just standing here to look pretty. That's it.
I thought that's what I was here for.
No, you're here to be flaky. You're here to be flaky, like you said.
But I won't flake. I'm here.
Let me tell you, this thing has changed my life. You don't need to use any oil. It is so convenient. It's just like...
Do you know how to use it?
It's a best friend. My auntie can make it. My mom knows how to use it. Okay, so let's start with the recipe. We have some apples.
All right.
We're going to just cut this nicely up.
I really thought those were potatoes. I was like, sure. I thought we were going the sweet route, but what are the potatoes doing here?
Wow. It's okay, Uncle Tabsy. We know that you love
for
on your
tasting,
own.
not so much for the cooking.
This is why I always try to feed you. I always try to feed you because I know you probably don't eat when you get home.
Jamie only says this now, but the truth is Jamie does everything to make sure that all the takeaway scuffteens are hidden from me. But let's talk about this air fryer,
100%.
which is the secret to bringing all of this together. Air fryers will help you use less oil, which is fantastic. So you want to make sure that you can manage that and balance that. But they also do help you make a dish a little bit healthier. We can all do with a healthier dish. The beauty of it, though, is that they use less power than an oven. And that's a game changer in terms of what they're able to do for you in that regard.
And what does that scream? Convenience. Because I love for convenience.
Yes,
so our roasted, toasted pistachios are going in as well.
Nice.
We have some pecans, of course. Cinnamon.
Yep.
Also going in, nice flavor profile.
Nice.
Some ground cardamom.
Stunning.
Some salt.
Okay. Why salt? If we're going the sweet route, Jamie.
You want to break this, I mean, the apples, the pecans, all
so you want to
rich
just
in texture. You just want to neutralize it. You know what I mean.
Okay.
So that is going to go in as well. And then some sugar. Just heighten up that flavors of the apple as well.
Nice.
And then what else? We have some...
Is that honey? Maple syrup.
Maple syrup. So
Okay,
maple
cool.
syrup is going in. And then what you're going to do is that you're going to get this nice and golden. There we go. Let's just put it on.
Like turn that on.
7 to 9 minutes.
Okay.
Voila. It's
So
going
once
to...
you start seeing it go golden, this is what it'll probably look like at
It will
the end
bring
of
down
it
all of those
You can see
juices,
It's nicely
reduce.
browned up on there. It's reduced really nicely. It looks ready to go.
TV
so
moment
what am I
over
doing
there,
here? I'm
that's your
seeing
filling.
pastry.
Yes. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut out the pastry for us.
Okay, cool.
So using your cut.
The first thing you want to do with pastry, Jamie, and you must please pay attention because this is a teaching moment and a moment to learn for you, is you've got to rub some
Ooh. There's an auntie watching right now and saying, what is he doing? Stop him. You do not use this for that, my friend. That is not a teaching moment. Let me teach you.
Okay.
My ancestors are probably like saying, what is that piece of thing? That goes for the egg wash. So put that down.
Yes, it's
there
about
we go.
how you feel.
Okay,
It's
are
not
you
about...
even feeling inspired to use that for the flour?
Okay. Well, you
Each
teach
to
me
their own.
then. What do
Each to
I
their
do
own.
with this?
So that you'd use, we already did use a little of the flour. So you don't
it's
need
there.
that, but if it does
All right.
stick, then you'd use the flour.
Okay.
I know that at least.
Okay, cool.
Then you'd use the
So
cutter.
this is going like
there
that.
we go. So you're going to cut out
Nice.
some nice little circles for me. And then if you're ready.
It's the circles of life.
I can't. So you're going to take your filling and you're going to put it inside your circle. So
Yeah.
try not to put too much in because you don't obviously want it to break. So this is perfect.
Okay.
And you're... Actually, that's a bit too much. Take it on. And then you
Then
are
you
going to
fold
it over, like say. And then you're going to press it down with your...
Your fork, just to get that
Like a
sealing going.
Yes. And what you're going to then do is once you're done with all of
You
these...
take these, all of them. Let's.
No. Let's use it as a
yes,
teaching
sorry,
moment.
sorry.
You have one job now. Make it count.
You just basically just apply your eggs over it. There we
Yes.
go. That's going very nicely.
And of course, that
Yeah,
recipe
cool.
is available on our website, expressoshow.com.
You would obviously get your pastry filled with all the goodies that it needs inside your air fryer. You'd get a few of them in, and you...
You're going to put it in for about
press.
9 minutes. You
Good
want to
to
make
go.
sure that it's nice and golden brown so you can see what the kitchen fairies did over there.
Yeah.
But that is it. A teaching moment for you.
And listen to the air fryer go. Air fryers really, I mean, they really are all the craze for a reason. You can now make deliciously crispy food in the comfort of your very own home because the Avo app by Nedbank is selling a Philips premium air fryer with a 35% discount. 35% discount? Is it Black Friday? No, it's not. It's Avo. And it's now retailing for $3,599 on the app. And this deal is valid only until tomorrow. So if you've always wanted an air fryer, your chance is now. And of course, you can get this delicious pecan and apple pie recipe on our site, expressoshow.com. So this will go for the duration that it needs to go for while that's all browning. That's what they look like when they're done.
Yes, and
that is
again,
impressive.
I need to feed you. I
Thank
always
you.
need to make sure
I know
that
you're going to
fed.
hide the rest of them now that you fed me one, but hey, I'm going to buy my own air fryer then.
Go for it. I love that for you. I love that for you.
Nice. Enjoy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We're live at S3. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, and we are back for the final time with some incredible artists. Now, Ashley Hilton is joined by the Stash Band, and this features some incredible talent like Wouter and Byron and Lee and Heinrich. I had to mention the entire band just to make sure you know. But this song is just to wrap things up. It's a powerful track called Child of the Ghetto. This song tells the story of a young man who has not forgotten where he came from and knows where he is going. So, gentlemen, take it away.
No matter where you go, no matter who you know, child of the ghetto, just so you know that all these things may change, they all stay the same. Streets have the same names, and children play the same game. The wind blows, I will follow. And where the road may lead, I will go. So put your head to the ground and listen to the sound. The trains are coming. I think you better get on board. Come on! Barefoot in the streets, the lessons you'll meet, the bright lights may entice you where you sleep. Come on, band, one more time. Child of the ghetto, and just so you know, all those things may change, they all stay the same. The streets, they all have the same So no matter where you go, no matter who you know, child of the ghetto, just so you know that all these things may change, they all stay the same. The streets have the same names, and children play the same game.
Lose away and trying new adventurous recipes to put the spring back in your step. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.